What up? We're back.
What up?
Mission statement. Vans Channel 66. We got a whole couch full of goons here on the skate, John. Marcus Waldron is the guest.
Hello.
Say what up.
What's up?
Everybody else, introduce yourselves.
What's
You got
up,
Noah.
What's up? I'm Sean.
My name's Greg.
Jacob.
So, you guys run the mag, right?
Yeah, me and Noah.
Skate, John.
Yeah, me and Noah have been running the magazine for a few years now together.
Okay, and then you also help out.
Yeah, I do a lot of like warehouse management stuff and just anywhere I can help. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And you're just a homie.
I'm a homie. I am also the artistic contributor.
Yeah, Greg does mad. Greg did that graphic that you're wearing, man.
Greg be doing a lot.
Big pop.
I don't like to use the word just. No.
But I'm just
I'm
the
trying
homie.
to belittle what you're an amazing artist and you're the homie and you
Appreciate
do a
it.
lot of creative
I'm
stuff.
a fan first of skate Jawn, you know?
Okay.
Same.
That's
Totally
what's up.
same.
That's what's up.
The
We'll
homie
start
can.
this off with a random ass question. Mark Suchu won Skater of the Year. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, he did a lot this year, but there's a lot of other people out there that really would have loved to see get it, but can't hate on it. I mean, he really did a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely put in work. What do you guys think?
There's a lot of skaters of the year every year. You know?
yeah, for sure. I mean, no doubt. I mean, definitely like put in the work, killed it. He's a gnarly skateboarder and he pushes it, but it's also it's nice to put a little bit of shine on some people that don't get as much shine. So I couldn't say like I wasn't surprised. Like I wasn't surprised. You know, what
I
mean?
voted for Yuto, but I knew Mark Suchu.
Yuto killed it.
Yeah, he does right.
Gnarly.
I voted for Max Palmer.
Yeah.
I
was
was
him
on
when I
the
thing. He wasn't on the thing.
He was on there.
He was.
Yeah,
he's up
Max,
there.
we were saying
Max.
what?
Yeah.
Max the Wizard.
He should
There's a
probably
lot
be
of
on there
names up
every
there.
year. Yeah, I think he's Sodi every year. Yeah.
But shout out to Mark, you
His
know.
truck's still him and Day One, dude. Got the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing
yeah.
going on.
Still wobbling.
They tighten it with their fingers.
How was you guys' summer? Anything? You guys travel? Anything? You guys get into anything this summer?
Still not traveling too much. Looking forward to getting back out there and trying to get abroad again. It's been a while for me, but just going around the country a little bit, road trips.
You haven't been anywhere since the pandemic, or
Not out of the country.
Oh, okay.
We did like Miami last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a rad trip. That was the last trip we went on, right? Like,
Yeah, for like skate jump for sure. Yeah, that was like not March 2020, but March 21, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was about that time. That was the first time like any of us had like flown on a plane or anything like that, you know. But
How long did you guys stay down there?
I mean, we stayed down there for like a week, I think, something like that.
yeah, that was a super rad trip. A little OJ collaboration. We went with John Gardner and like good crew of homies.
Yeah,
We had
Jake Keenan.
yeah.
So they came back and they were like, dude, we just like pretty much hung out with like all these covers for the week. Like,
It was a lot
just
of
mad heads down there that had the cover of Skate Shop.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah,
6
they-
or 7 magazines in here with the
Oh,
people.
there's 55. Oh, dude, there's 58.
Freddie met up with us.
Yeah.
Like
Who?
Fred Gall was there with
okay,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was down there with like BA, and they all came
Yeah.
over one night and cooked us all ceviche. That was pretty sweet.
Who made the ceviche?
Brian Anderson.
No, Ghost.
Damn.
Oh yeah, Ghost
Yeah,
made the
Chef
ceviche.
Ghost.
Brian Anderson cleaned the kitchen. But we all helped him, did our part, but they did the most for sure. Yeah.
Was Paul Gar was there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
out
saw
there.
this trip on Instagram.
Yeah, that was
I saw
a good
some
one.
BA's posts and Paul Gar's posts.
We were trying to follow around Joel Meinholz the best we could down there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy.
Sure
Oh
does.
yeah.
Are all you guys? I know you're from Jersey. You're Jersey. Are you guys from
Yep.
Jersey as well?
Is that?
Nah, Massachusetts, and
Okay.
then I kind of bopped around, did San Francisco for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You married into Jersey though.
Yeah, I'm married into Jersey. That's true.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice,
I'm
nice.
originally from Missouri, but I moved around a whole bunch too. I actually moved out here from California, Humboldt County, Northern California.
Okay.
Shout out Humble.
Shout out Humboldt County.
Murder Mountain.
Yeah, Murder Man. That's what everybody knows. But it's a lovely place. It's a beautiful place. There's a lot of other things out there besides murders and mountains. So.
I was driving up to Seattle one time, and we stopped in Humboldt, and we were eating some food at a diner, and I seen this older woman, and she had a like a Letterman jacket, and her jacket said the Humboldt Cougars.
Nice.
And I thought it was like a cool, and it had like, I don't know, it was pretty good.
That sounds like Humboldt, man. It's a time bubble up there. Like they never left the 70s.
Yeah.
Was she was she hot?
Hippie hideout.
Was she hot? No.
Nah, she looked like she lived in Humboldt.
Yeah.
No disrespect. Shout out.
I'm sure there's beautiful people in Humboldt.
There's probably gorgeous women in Humboldt. Yeah.
Different flavor, but yeah, I moved out to New York a couple years ago, and
Okay.
that's when I linked with these fools through a mutual friend.
You from St. Louis?
No, I'm from South Missouri, the Ozarks. I was
okay.
originally born in this little town called West Plains, and then like bopped around for a little bit. My parents were truck drivers and stuff, so like we just kind of traveled a lot, and then eventually moved to SoCal.
Oh,
and
cool.
Spent time in Temecula.
All right.
Shout out Temecula.
Shout out to Temecula, the IE.
Really, but,
The IE. So how did you guys link to start Skate Jawn? Or how did you guys know each other?
Well, he started it.
You started it, yeah, and going to school in Philly and all that, right?
Yeah, so I had actually always wanted to make a skate magazine since I remember in high school I had meetings with some friends just like brainstorming, trying to figure out like little articles and just wanted to do something. Made like a mission statement and everything about like we just want to have our own magazine, our own voice and stuff. But didn't really know that many people back then. Like it was kind of just, a dream.
Yeah.
And actually around the same time, I was in high school still. My older brother, started his own like little magazine. We have some copies here, but it's like community
Munchmouth?
like food magazine called
Okay.
Munchmouth. And it was me. This is my cousin here. He's on the cover. We used to do this. We'd have meeting, driving while eating, DWE.
That's amazing.
That project was so fun. We would meet up every week on Mondays, have magazine meetings.
That's cool.
And just me, my cousin, my brother, a few friends went around like trying to sell ads to pizza shops and like local places. I actually got an ad I sold to a skate shop for the back of this first ad sale of my life.
Oh shit.
And
Damn.
yeah, and then after I graduated high school, I went to school in Spain for a couple years. And I was trying to make the magazine out there, but I didn't even know what language I should do it in. I was like, damn, a lot of these people speaking Spanish, like maybe that would be better. I was like, do bilingual magazine, be hard, and like wasn't really working out. I also didn't know really anything about how to make a magazine. It's like, all right. Eventually I had to stop going to school. I was just skating too much, and I kind of just dropped out. Ended up moving back to Philly, got into a school there. And as soon as I moved into Philly, I met so many skaters. I just knew I was in like the right place to do it. I also started studying some graphic stuff, and it was on as soon as I moved in.
So do you have the first issue here or no?
Oh yeah, this is
This is the very first issue you made?
yeah.
Numero uno.
Oh yeah, it says it right on the cover.
Shot
See,
it.
bilingual. Numero uno.
Exactly. A little bit.
You threw a little Spanish in there. You learned something in your
once a
time.
while.
Shout out Dylan on the cover.
Wow. So what was how the process? You're like, okay, I'm gonna make my first copy. You just called some homies that shoot photos and just like kind of put everything together.
I moved, so I needed an apartment. I got into school in Philly. I needed an apartment. My good friend Sloan, actually looking at a picture of him, like right as I said that. But Sloan put the word out. I needed to find an apartment. He's like, yo, I got some friends that need a roommate. Like, I'll link you guys up. I moved in with some friends I still see like all the time to this day, like Mitchell Wilson, Connor Prunty. There was when I moved in, like Mitchell's brothers were there, Andrew Wilson and Johnny Wilson. On the cover here, you can see like some of the whole crew. There's like Paul Tucci going into the fridge. This is shot in the living room. Dylan James we shared a studio up until like for a little while here in New York, but
Shout out Dylan.
yeah, Dylan's always been a huge help with the mag. Like
Has it always you started out as a monthly thing or was it just bi-monthly or how often were you putting them out?
the first magazine, I gave myself 2 months to make it, thinking I could do it in 2 months, and it worked pretty good. And I think I was on schedule. And after that, I was like, all right, I can do another one in 2 months, like for sure. And then just every 2 months since then.
Okay. Oh, so it's still every 2 months.
Yeah, every 2 months since
We stayed
the
on
start.
schedule the entire time.
Yeah, trying to stay on that schedule.
Give or take,
still.
give or take.
Yeah, you know, little fluctuations,
It
but
gets a little stressful sometimes, right? And then, so when did you come into the mix of the whole thing?
Well, so I mean, I'm in issue 1
Oh, you
because
are?
yeah,
one of
actually.
Marcus's high school homies went to college in my hometown in Western Mass, and he was like, you know, we'd be out skating, like we were all just like the local kids. None of us went to the school, but we were finally the same age as all the other college students, so we would like, you know, kick it with everybody. And Matt Carlin, shout out Matt Carlin.
yeah, the homie.
Yeah, he was like, yo, my friend's starting a skate mag, like, you guys got any photos? Like, you know, my homie David shot photos, and we just went out and took pictures of ourselves skating, you know, where we were from. And then 2 months later, they were like in a fucking magazine. You know what I mean? And we were like, damn, that's sick.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, like it's
For
really
sure.
cool. And then right after that, me and all my homies moved to San Francisco. And so I hit up Marcus and I was like, dude, send me a box of mags out here. Like, you know, I want to share the love, like, you know, and it just kind of blossomed from there slowly and slowly.
There's always been this a lot of good skaters coming out of Western Massachusetts. Just a huge
Like-
scene, especially there's a lot here in New York.
Yeah,
A lot
definitely.
can move. I guess it's kind of the same group that moved to San Francisco as well that lived in. You guys all kind of know each other, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Western Mass, where I'm from, is like pretty small, tight knit. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of skaters in Western Mass for sure.
Like
Yeah.
East Coast style skater.
Yeah,
You know.
crust, nothing but crust, man.
Wedges. Snow skating, snow
So,
footage.
I always ask this. That's a pretty basic question, but how did you get into skating, and how did all you guys get into skating? We'll start with you, just briefly, like.
Yeah, I mean, when I started skating, the first thing I really got into before skating was music. I started playing guitar, and that's like the first thing I really fell in love with doing. And that kind of led me to skating, actually, I guess, because I think the first time I really started skating or like started playing with one was at my bandmate's house. I was 13 when I started skating, so I was in a band when I was like 12.
Okay. You still play guitar?
Not really. I kind of put it down when I picked up the skateboard.
That's what happens with skateboards. You just forget everything else.
Definitely.
I got hooked like even harder. I thought I was hooked on the guitar, but skateboarding, you're outside
Takes all
playing
your
with your
attention.
friends more. It was like more
Yeah.
social. I was like, I want to do this instead.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I grew up like kind of in the woods, so I was on a bike a lot more. And me and my buddies would be biking around, and then his older brother started skating and hanging with skaters like in town. And I was like a tiny little kid, and I hated having like 25 pounds of metal between my legs. And skateboard was a lot easier to carry around, you know. And so next thing you know, it was like everybody ditched their bikes, got boards, and spent every day at UMass, you know. Like
Nice.
Yeah.
That was the spot. That was the local.
big time,
like-
yeah,
Okay.
UMass. I mean, it's like that place with all the handrails and that one on the wall that like Bro Gumpright did and shit. And then that Gagney ledge, that like 5-stair hubba.
Jim Gagney.
Yeah, Jim Gagney. He's Western Mass legend. Yeah.
Now they flipped into a pool. I know that. I know the story. I know the story.
Yeah. But back in the day, man, that had the Fine Arts Center reflection pools, which was like where I learned to skate, and it was literally bank to curbs, bank to walls, like this two huge sections of it, and it was like the dream spot. You know what I mean? If I ever could, I would just rebuild that.
Is it still there?
No, they paved it all for like nothing, literally just for
Yeah.
tiles, like,
Just so you guys wouldn't hang out there.
basically. Yeah.
How about you?
My dad was a skater. My dad's a skater. Shout out Papa Cheese.
Okay.
He just growing up always like just never had a world without a skateboard. I didn't seriously get into skateboarding until I was probably like 11 or 12, and I was like, oh, I want to learn how to ollie and like do tricks and stuff. But always been on a board. Like my dad used to take me and my brother and put us on his old school and push us through the sewers, and we'd like skate through the sewers on his lap and stuff. It's pretty sick. And then like when I was living in Missouri, like next door neighbor was an old 70s pro, and he had like this big like 13-foot half pipe in his backyard. So my dad would just like go over there to skate and just be like, you and your brother sit here and like watch us skate for 5 hours.
So your dad was a vert skater, or
My dad was a vert skater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
What do
still
you mean
waiting
by
to
the
see the
sewers?
footage. Like the sewers. Like he would like be like, honey, I'm gonna take the kids out, and then we'd like go to the sewers and like go down. And then there was like a couple miles of like sewers, and he would like crisscross applesauce us on the board and like plot me and my brother. And you know, this is an old school. This is like a 13-inch board, dude. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of space for kids. And
we have to get this straight. Are you climbing into the sewers like the Ninja Turtles, or are you really?
Yeah, like me, my dad's
Not
like,
under
all
the
right, let's
ground.
go.
Not under the ground.
Like,
The
You're talking about like
canals.
canals, or not? You're not in the
The
under
canals
the
have
street.
like an opening to the
No,
top.
like an underground sewer pipe, like the sewers under the cities in
okay.
Missouri.
Oh, I
You
think I know
go
what you
under
mean,
a sewer
yeah.
cap.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
And like,
That's some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
my
shit.
dad would like put us on his board, and he would like put us on his board, and he would like crisscross applesauce, and then just like push us down the pipes and like skate through the underground.
Cowabunga.
So like in my head, I was
underground.
always like, yo, transition, you know.
Damn.
But then I moved to California, and I was like blown, like, whoa, what the hell? Like street skating, tech skating, like. I like really got into it like when Fully Flared came out and stuff, you know, like 2006, 2007. But then, yeah, like once you get the bug, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I never stopped. I did stop for a year in high school. That's a whole other story. But here we are today. So,
All right. What about you, Greg?
Shouts to your pops.
dude, shout out to Papa Cheese. I got him on my leg right here, dude.
Papa
Second
Cheese,
generation.
the big cheese.
The man.
So good. I started skating 8th grade graduation. My auntie got me a skateboard that just lived in the back of my closet. And then my neighbor, shout out Mike Hydell, asked me if I had a skateboard. I found that thing, you know, and he showed me an ollie. It was like this high and blew my whole brain. And then there was a ramp after that. There was a mini ramp at the mall that I used to basically live at. And I just started hanging out there. I met like all my friends who I'm still friends with today, like Devin Connell, the infamous Wecking Ball.
We're gonna talk. I got a Wecking Ball question.
Got a Wecking Ball question. Everybody knows the artist Leon was here. People think
Yes,
it's Leon
Leon
Washire.
Yeah.
Met him at that ramp when we were all
Oh,
little
he's from
kids.
Jersey too.
Shout out Jersey.
He's a good.
Yeah.
I like his art.
He's sick.
His animations.
He just did a LeVar McBride one that was
Yeah, that
really
one was
dope
super
recently.
cool,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, that's how it all started for me. Just kind of had a little motley crew of homies, Mall Rats, and then we took it to the streets.
Were you guys check like who? What pros were you looking up to pros, or like did you pay attention to that shit when you were a kid, or were you just skating? Like
I mean, in my town, at my local skate park, Chris Cole was there like all the time. But, like when he was really killing it back then, and he was just like so local. He'd be around sometimes. That was really awesome to watch.
I actually had a Chris Cole. I actually have a Chris Cole question on here because I know you lived in Philly, but he seems like an East Coast skater that doesn't get any East Coast love.
I can see that. He's done a lot. He's gone to Cali.
get love
Like,
on the West
Chris
Coast?
Cole, you never think about the East Coast, right? Like the
because he's went to Cali. He's got so much Cali stuff.
My brain
but
thinks about San Diego,
yeah,
Jamie Thomas, like
It's true, yeah.
that's where people see a lot of his footage and like where he's been at. But I think about when I came up skating and he was just there. I was like, oh my god, some of the stuff he was doing like at the local park, like that was always just some firsthand experiences with pros. Like that was like
yeah.
the most local guy.
Because where you're from in Jersey, where you guys are from in Jersey, you kind of gravitate more towards Philly. Is that or like
I grew up-
Philly's close, like the skate scene in Philly, I should say, as opposed to like gravitating towards
Yeah, I'm definitely
city.
closer to Philly. I went to Philly more growing up. It was like we could drive there in like a half hour sometimes.
Same,
We were
yeah.
like cruising. So, well, skated in New York sometimes. Like started skating in New York more after I moved to Philly. Honestly,
Really?
just because I
you're
met
like,
more
"Oh, I need
people
some-"
here.
yeah.
I didn't venture out too much to New York when I was younger. But I also, when I was 18, I moved to Spain. So like,
Where'd you
that
live
was-
in Spain?
I was in Madrid for like 2 years going to school. That was some of the best experiences. Like I loved it. I couldn't go to school out there though. I had to just I was like, I'm just gonna skate. Like this isn't worth it.
Skate. What's that? Plaza Cologne.
Plaza Cologne.
Yeah,
I would go there all day. There's my homie. Shout out Plaza Cologne.
Oh yeah.
That's sick. Is there also like the Parque Retiro?
Yeah, Retiro just like the chill part. It's
Yeah,
not
go
like
chill there
skating
after the
spot.
sesh is
But
done.
I'd be in Retiro too,
is
though.
that?
I'd hang
Parque
out
de
there.
Tiro. It's
I
like
don't
this
know
big
that
park
one.
in Madrid. I'm not like I went to Madrid for a couple days. I obviously don't have the experience that he has, but when I was there, I was like, this is the after skate spot for sure.
You hit the drum circle on a Sunday?
I don't really.
See, he knows. He knows.
I don't really remember everything I did in Madrid to say.
I remember skating at the Hard Rock there.
Yeah, that's
Those
like
Hard
right
Rock
outside of
ledges.
Cologne.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get kicked out of
It's like-
Cologne, you go
and
to
then
Hard
go
Rock.
to Hard Rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that spot's still
fun, though.
good. People saw my homie skating there the other day. Shout out Crewman wearing the skate Jawn hoodie.
Krumah.
Yeah, backside big spin. I seen
Popcorn
that.
hardware.
Yeah.
Did you used to see?
Seen
Did
that?
you used to see like Jesus Fernandez and them around there or what?
I think that was like, I think I got there right after he was really like traveling a lot, not around too much. But yeah, he came through the plaza a few times while I was there. Everyone's like, oh, what? He's out here. Like, but I think he was traveling at that point.
Okay, and then so after Madrid, you came back home and you went to school in Philly. You said.
Yeah, so I stopped going to school out there and I got into one in Philly. I wanted to figure something out before I like left or whatever, and I was able to. So came straight back to America with like plans in Philly, found that house and just started the magazine like as soon as I moved in, basically.
Were you still going to school?
Yeah, so I restarted school there, and I started at I was going to University of the Arts downtown, like right by Love. I really I saw that people were like skating Love all the time. Love looked so good. I was like, all right, I'm trying to go to school in Philly. I'm trying to skate Love. And I stayed there until just like a little bit after they tore it all down. I was like,
So what era did you get there? Was that like the Stevie Kalis era?
nah, I'm talking, this was after
was, like,
that.
later, right?
Yeah. I moved in, like, we still had City Hall, was still skatable. We had a few years of that. And
Was
then,
Jimmy Garecki around? Like in that time?
I mean, obviously Penny was doing all the Sabotage videos, working on them. Probably, I remember when like Sabotage 2 came out. It was like the start of all that, really.
Yeah, because you guys came there when it was like an in-between period, like right after the Kayla Stevie era and like right as Sabotage started. So I remember there was like a little dormant period in Love Park.
When it started getting like really popping again, that's kind of when I was like, all right, I got to get over there. I got to like
So
change
how
my
much
life
time would you
around.
spend at Love Park? Like describe a day in the life in this times like.
That time,
Basically.
I mean, in my life, I was going to school. I would go, I would skate Love like as much as I could. That was kind of my favorite spot to go. You know how it was back then. Like you didn't even have to ask nobody what they were doing. You just go out there, skate with whoever's there. Like I always loved that style of skating. Just go, see who's there,
Yeah,
skate
exactly.
until.
You don't call anybody. You just.
Make
Yeah.
plans.
I skated Love for 5 minutes of my whole life. I think I told
What?
you that before, right?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Sucks.
we went to Love. I went to Love Park once, skated for 5 minutes, did a back tail, and then we got kicked out and never went back.
Hey, you did it. You did a trick at Love.
at least you got one.
You got yours. Like that's what's up.
It was because we were in Philly on the start of a East Coast tour, Menace tour, or what, City Stars, one of
Yeah.
them.
Sick.
And
So
so that was it. Like that was our moment. That was our Love moment, and that's all we had. And then never went back to skating.
Yeah, I don't gotta go back. I got the back tail.
Like next spot.
Yeah, exactly.
But Greg had a little more time skating there than I did. Like, how long you get to skate? Love
Man, so shout out Joe Potato Tornado, Devin Connell's dad.
Joe
he
Potato
would,
Tornado.
he would drive us out to Love Park because it was about 45 minutes for us to get there from
Hell of a
South
name.
Jersey. And first time I came out there, Tim O'Connor was trying to varial flip the Love Gap. And I remember, I just remember feeling like I was in, a 401 video. And yeah, we got to see a lot go down in that era. We saw Brian Wenning just tear that place apart. Papalardo, a little bit of Jimmy Grecky when he was first coming out there. Yeah, it was like still the golden era. And it was quite traumatizing too, because it wasn't just a skate park. It was definitely just like a homeless shelter, psych ward.
Yeah, a lot going on. over
Saw a little too much, But yeah, Tony Montgomery,
about
Omar
right.
Alvario, all those heads were just
Yeah.
ripping and shredding.
You been there before?
I went there once without a board with friends, and I took a photo in front of the love sign. And I was like, I
Classic.
wish I had a board. And then I was like,
You were a tourist.
I was a tourist.
You're a tourist.
True tourist.
True tourist.
Greg's still salty. You got to tell us about the DGK shirt.
Oh man. So yeah.
You guys know about this story?
Oh man.
Speaking of Love Park.
Yeah. Look, got some-
Before that, shout out to everybody that held down Love Park.
yeah. Shout
Shout
out.
out to
Shout out.
The legendary. So yeah, no. Again, I would go there when there was a lot of filming happening for major videos, and Stevie Williams was filming for The Reason. You know, shout out that part, classic part, and Strobeck was there. And again, Tim O'Connor, Varial flipping. This is like one of my first times I love this happen. He's Varial flipping the gap, and we're all just like huddled around watching. Stevie's like passing the blunt around, and cop comes up in like a Bronco and just like hops up the two-stair, and we all start running. And I'm like in the camera running away. Stevie Williams part comes out. I have no idea. I pop in the VHS all hyped, and in the intro of the video, I'm just like slow-mo, just like running from the cops, right?
No.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wake up, my mom like freaking out, right? They showed it twice, like Transworld ran this like 3 times, right? So then like fast forward, DGK's out, and you know the whole everybody remembers like run, skate, chill, right? Run, skate, chill, go to the store. So DGK made a shirt that said like DGK, run, skate, chill, and front
With
and
you on
center,
it.
you see a picture of like me running away, like from that
How old are
scene.
you? Like
I was like
12,
13, 14 years old.
I just put
Can I-
two and two
I need to
together.
find this
Bro, I
shirt.
gotta get that shirt.
I need that shirt,
I
dude.
want
Yeah.
that shirt.
Yo, so I hit up DGK. I'm like, yo, I do graphic design, I do art. Like, yo, you guys use this in, like, I'm showing them designs, thinking this is my end, right? And like, yeah, they send me a singular shirt. And I made a post like, yo, like, got put on this DGK shirt without my permission. All I got was this t-shirt.
All right. If anybody at DGK's watching this shit,
Some extra ones.
will
Man
hit
up.
us up. Yeah, we got his address.
Nah, but you know, flattering moment. That was crazy.
Nah, that's dope,
Yeah,
though.
that's
Do you
awesome.
still have the shirt?
I still have that
Okay.
t-shirt. Yeah.
Nice.
Still wear it.
All right.
Shout out, you know, shout out Stevie, all the gang. It's love.
The reason was dope.
The reason was
The reason was fire.
Of course.
That whole video was really sick.
Mm-hmm.
That shit really like I knew about East Coast skating, you know what I mean? But that was one of the videos that really was like, oh shit, okay, like this is
Yeah.
really dope. Like these guys are going in.
True. Who else had parts in The Reason?
Matt Mumford, Danny
I don't
Montoya.
Danny Montoya, dude, shout out to Danny Montoya.
There was like some really good montages in there.
Yeah.
Who else had a part in
I
that?
have no
Stevie.
idea.
Stevie just like he's still riding off that part.
Yeah. That's the video. Is Stevie's part,
Pretty
Nah,
right?
but I think there's a couple more. Like I don't know why I can't remember right now, but I think there's
No,
a
I'm
couple
sure.
more. Like
Yeah, Danny Montoya, Matt Mumford. Those are the only ones I could think of.
Uh-huh.
was
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So, did you guys know each other growing up in Jersey?
Nah, not until Philly we met.
Not
right?
until Love Park, but we
Yeah.
had the same area code on our phone to this day.
Okay.
609, baby.
Yeah,
That's
now we're
Atlantic
out here
City.
in New York. We share a studio now, so we be chilling every day. like,
Exactly.
more than ever.
That's what's up.
Full circle. I was just a fan of Skate Jawn. Like, once I saw that they were in Brooklyn, and I was like, wait, I'm in Brooklyn too. And I just like hit them up, like, yo, I want to hang out. And that's how I kind of started. You know?
It was so exciting when you got space in the studio. It was like, all right, things are changing now. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
get a little brightness in there, dude. It's kind of dark in the studio, so bring some light in
It's
there.
definitely pretty
love
sick
our crew.
to like walk into the studio and have all these amazing people in there. Like we got our section, you're there, like all the other homies, Max and Mets. It's like everybody gets each other hype. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we got a
live
good
for it.
crew right now.
I love coming in there every single day and just seeing these guys working on the magazine, like, really motivates me to get in the professional headspace,
For sure.
you know, because they're on it, like, on a regular.
You go. That's your office, basically. You go to the studio. That's where you work from, so you go there every day.
Yeah, pretty much every
Yeah.
day. Sometimes I trying to go skate, not trying to be in there, but pretty much gotta.
Usually
stop.
doesn't work out.
Yeah, pretty much gotta stop there at some point every day.
It's the perk of the job.
I always want to see who else is in there too.
Yeah.
It's like really good vibe right now.
For
It's
sure.
cool mix of people. Just pop in, see if Greg's there, other
Mhm.
homies. Like maybe from there go skate. Like most of us all skate in there too, so it's really good.
Kind of like a headquarters.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
every magazine that anyone touches comes through there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta
Everything's
touch
boxed
it.
up.
It always trips me out. Like when people get like, I see like someone wearing like a skate Jawn hoodie in Japan. I'm like, I touched that. It's so weird. You know what I mean?
But somebody has to.
Sorry,
right, yeah.
global thing, but it's all from like a little like 20 by 20 foot space.
We haven't been able to replace Jawn with a robot yet.
yeah.
They're working on it, man.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm just
Yeah. I know I said I had a question about Wrecking Ball, and he doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing besides the fact that you guys know him and grew up with him. But seeing as like, what was the thing that happened with him and Stevie? They got into some like big beef. Right?
Oh yeah, I totally had to diffuse that whole.
Not to be gossipy, but I thought that was kind of.
But I need some gossip.
I'll keep the story short.
You're good friends with him, right?
That's my boy.
Are you good friends with him also?
I don't know him that well, but I know him through Greg and other friends. Like, I got a lot of friends that are friends with him.
I know him when he was skinny Weck. I'll keep it short. BLM was going on. Stevie was outing fools, saying everybody racist, and he tried to throw the Wrecking Ball up there, and I just had to say, wait a minute, bro, my brother. Like, and I hit him up in a DM, and we were going on, and I'm like, bro, I learned more racist
You hit
stuff.
Stevie up on
I
the
hit
DM.
Stevie, yeah, because I'm like, yo, remember me from the T-shirt? Like, no, it's all good.
So you do have the end.
It's all love. It's all love. But yeah, I just had to tell him, like, bro, I grew up watching, watching DGK and like grew up around this dude, and I just said I learned more racist stuff towards my people from DGK than I ever did from WEC. So like we got squashed this, and thankfully he was receptive to it. Took the post down. He actually like challenged him to a game of skate to just like bury the hatchet, and
Who
that
did?
never went down. Stevie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out
I thought
Stevie.
Stevie got mad because Wrecking Ball called him out for lifting weights.
Nah, we won't get into the real reasons because it can get a little controversial, but it was just all, hopefully water under the bridge. You know what I mean?
I want to see that game of skate.
I'd love
I
to
would
see
love
that
to
game
see
of
that
skate.
game of skate.
Maybe Skate Jawn can sanction it. You know what I mean? Just like
Damn. You're gonna have to pay Stevie a
We'll
lot
make
of
it a
money.
black and white
Stevie's gonna
magazine,
need a
just-
big check to make that happen.
We'll fly him first class.
got that one.
How's he's been pretty quiet lately.
Yeah, I think he just
Maybe Stevie
he
ended
moved
his
down
career
south,
like
grow a mustache, but he's still
it's
flexing.
like a Ja Rule 50 Cent thing. Stevie ended like,
Exactly.
deaded
Yeah,
him.
yeah. You know,
Is that the thing to
subscribe
do?
to his Patreon. It'll get you ripped.
Wait,
You
is
know.
that the thing to do in the skateboard world? Is like be hip hop and then like move down south and grow a mustache
I don't know anybody that did that. But
and get a motorcycle?
Hi,
Tekashi. Nah, he ain't hiding from nobody. But
Okay.
sometimes South Jersey can only hold
Sure.
a mind like the WEC or a mind like ours for so long. Then you got to branch out and expand. So
Word.
Shout out to all,
All
the
right.
skaters.
Shout out to Wrecking Ball
shout out
and
WEC.
Stevie.
Shout out
Stevie
Stevie.
too.
Respect.
So, growing up, do you feel like the East Coast had good representation in skateboard, like magazines and media?
Nah, not at all. That's
No?
a large reason why I always wanted to do what I wanted to do. Like, I just always felt like everyone who started getting anywhere, like you have to move to Cali, and like everyone talks like that. And it's kind of what you see in the media too. You just see so much Cali, like when I was younger, there was so much like Barcelona stuff too, and like that was like a huge area of focus, and that's why I ended up going out to Spain just to like be close to that scene. But I felt like the East Coast stuff was not there that much, and I didn't like the idea of like of so much industry being out there that you just have to go out there. It's like that's where it's all at.
You guys feel the same ways?
I mean, like when I moved to San Francisco, it was like like I said, I wanted to share Skate Jawn, and everybody in California was hungry for the East Coast. You know what I mean? Like they're getting plenty of skateboarding out there, but it's not East Coast skateboarding, man. You know, and so filling a void.
I think that there's definitely a difference because I like coming from Missouri, like everything's up really like a few years behind, and then I moved to California, and you're right, it's like the glitz and the glam, and like like Transworld was down in San Diego, and like Thrasher's there, and like everybody's in LA, and like I had some experiences when I was younger trying to like work in the skate industry in LA, and just like after I moved to the East Coast, I was like, this shit's way more raw and like way more like underrated, and like people don't realize that the skaters here like are so much more hardcore, just like skaters, as opposed to like images or like. I feel like a lot of people in California, it's like an image, it's like it's a thing, like.
But also, like, we're rooted here, based here, but we're not like as strictly East Coast.
Of course,
Yeah,
of
you know,
course.
like,
No, not at all.
You know, it's everybody's,
Yeah.
you know, everybody's game, but.
Yeah.
But I'm from here, and I'm not trying to go to Cali just to do skateboard stuff. Like, I want to be here and do skateboard stuff. So I'm gonna do my own thing then.
And yeah, the East Coast deserves like a full-fledged industry like California does. People should be able to move to New York or Philly and work in skateboarding. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
I remember because it used to seem like Trans World would be like they would do articles like Trans World goes to Spain, Trans World goes to Japan, Trans World goes to New York, like as if it was like a like you know like it would be like a special New York article. You know what I mean? Like all the editorials, everything in the mag was like all California based, and then it would be like this team spends 1 week in New York City, and it's like an article like, and it made it feel like it was a different kind of. So I know what you mean. Like the whole magazine wasn't kind of like, it was very Southern California.
It's very specific to that.
centric,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But
I feel that.
to speak up for Cali too, is there are tons of types of skaters in Cali that are like y'all and stuff like that. But to get noticed, to try to get famous, they have to be like glitz and glamour. So there's a bunch of like skaters in the cut that are still in the cut. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, like
Percent.
you know, still rocking.
people.
Yeah, those are our people. The ones in the cuts are homies.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what probably you go and chime
and
in with,
SF
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Like,
SF,
you
there's
know what I
all
mean?
those people that are like a lot of East Coast transplants. You know what I mean? Because like, I mean, I lived in California for 8 years and I never went to LA. I never put my feet down in LA.
I feel like it's a stage, so it's like just like in college where people go and try to get drafted. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a stage that people draft.
Right.
is
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that stage.
sure.
You know what I'm
Kid
saying?
graduates
So-
high school, road trips to Cali,
Exactly.
tries to make it.
I
You
see it
know,
all the
like,
time.
I mean, most of the mission statement shows I've done have had that story on
Right.
there. It's like, okay, so when did you drive to California? Yeah. All right, yeah, okay, cool. Like,
Encino. Cool. Awesome.
let me guess, 92 Volvo. Oh, yeah.
Honda Accord,
lived in
you
LA.
had
Oh, we
you
actually
had
down
600
halfway.
bucks.
Yeah, exactly. My car did die halfway. Yeah. Or David Nelson's car, actually. His 92 Volvo. But
Oh, you guys drove out there together?
yeah. Me, Dave, and 2 other homies, Jeff and Andrew. Yeah.
I did the reverse, dude. I road tripped out to New York. I was
Smart.
like, I'm going, dude.
And yeah, it's nothing against California. Like
No,
there's
I
so
don't
much
take it that way at all.
cool stuff out there, and it's
Cali's
I
rad
like to
for
go
some
there, and we like to have it in the magazine. And it is a big, important place in skateboarding. But I'm
feel
just
you,
not
though.
trying to.
I definitely feel you.
But I'm trying to show where I'm from, where I'm at. So
I think with everything the way skateboarding is set up now, though, it doesn't even matter. Like
Yeah.
everyone traveling.
back in the
all
days,
over.
90s, 2000s, it was very. I mean, there's no social media. It's like what you see.
Yeah,
I mean,
now it's
The little bit.
80s, 90s, they were using zines.
Yeah.
Zines were social media. They were showing people, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what my homie's doing.
Yeah.
Like, this, you know, like here, it's in Missouri, it's in Boston, it's, you know, and they mail them to each other, you know, and that's like the concept of
Yeah.
zines originally, you know, is, yeah.
I mean, in the 90s, European skate scene wasn't even a thing. Like we didn't even
It
think
was just
We
Americans.
didn't even,
It
we
was like-
didn't even think about Europe. You know how it is now?
Yeah.
You got all these dudes, Carlston Clappin and fucking all these dudes
Awesome.
from
Yeah.
all these dudes from everywhere. It's like it doesn't even seem like now. It just seems like skateboarding is one huge community, global
Yeah,
community.
for
But back in
sure.
the days, like European skateboarding was like a joke. People,
Right.
people in America would be like,
There's an article once
yeah,
a
they'd be
year
like,
or
oh,
something.
that's some Euro pro.
Yeah. It was definitely
Yeah,
less.
they'd be like, he's a
lesser.
Euro pro.
Just the word Euro Pro would make you laugh.
So like, yeah, it was like, I guess in a sense, it's like the further away you got from Southern California, the less connected you were to the scene or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, the less important.
The further
you
the box had to
felt.
get shipped.
Exactly.
Well,
Or
Exactly.
the harder it was for the photos to get in because
Yeah.
the photographer
Yeah.
wasn't already staffed
Yeah.
in Cali.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
glad things are getting like not like that so much anymore. I think they're definitely better now. Like
Yeah,
for
it's-
sure.
And I feel like the industry was growing, so everybody that was getting something, they were like, "Oh, they were holding it and not giving it out to nobody else. You know what I mean?
sure.
They're
Yeah,
like, oh, this
definitely.
is amazing. They're making money off this. Like, I'm just gonna take
and
it.
that's like how I've always viewed, this magazine. It's how I became a part of it, was like an offer to show other people, where you're at, what you're doing, like, and I feel like we've always had an open door to all of our readers to like, get in. Like, you open any issue, there's a backyard ramp in Kentucky. There's an interview with a dude in Austin. Like, we try to just like give people the outlet,
Like, sorry, I was just gonna say this is a great example. There's a photo that this kid submitted, John Shashagwai, shout out John Shashagwai, and it's a little photo we put in the back, and it's like probably like 12-year-old kid, and it's John Shashagwai photo. John Shashagwai. I was like, that's so sick, but that's also the beautiful thing about skateboarding. Like, he just skated in his driveway, took a selfie of himself doing a little ollie. Like, that's it, man. That's skateboarding. Like, that's sick.
And who knows? Maybe John Shashagway or whatever is gonna be popping in 10 years.
We had him in the mag before anybody.
Speaking of, I want to get an ad for BK Skate Club possibly, or talk to you guys about it. Like the little skate club we'd be doing.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
Like just put a little maybe ad.
Dude, I did a skate club in SF for like 6-7 years.
Dude, I gotta pick your brain.
At Clipper Hubba.
Really?
I ran a whole like after school skate
right
program.
there, school?
At James Lick,
Dude.
Yeah, it was sick.
That's a trip.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's teaching kids how to skate. All right,
Did
James, go down. All right.
Did any of the kids do the hubba?
Nah. But I had one kid that was like a little Potrero kid. He could have, if he kept skating and didn't just start selling weed and shit, he could have done.
Did you
Clipper
show him
for
videos?
Sure. Yeah, all the time, man. Yeah.
The thing is, too, like you were saying, he was a patrol kid and he started selling weed. Dude, that's what SF be happening. If our skate spots are gone, people start gangbanging.
Yeah,
they start
totally.
doing other shit because that's what we have to do out there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, RIP to a couple of my homies, you know what I mean?
Right.
That used to skate with
Absolutely,
me,
man. RIP to some Potrero homies, man. Some of those young kids,
RIP
man.
JB.
Absolutely. Malcolm.
Free Jesse.
Yeah. But yeah, Clipper was real cool, and just doing like the youth work was like really satisfying. And I seen you guys been doing that as well, BK Skate Club, and it's like,
Love that.
yeah, I was doing it like 2011 to 2016 or something, and
Moral support. Just support.
It's a rare chance to see Lee get busy too on the board. Current day.
I've never said this in public, but I quit skating last year.
Nah.
The thing is, peep game.
I just kidding. I take a break.
you'll never see
I take a break.
Skateboarding didn't quit you.
That's right. That's right.
Skateboarding's like,
I take a little skateboarding break.
yeah.
Let my bones heal. A little
yeah, I
bit.
understand that. Yeah.
It's okay to like give yourself a break from slamming on the concrete. Like,
Exactly.
That's still a natural thing.
Yeah, I fell hard, and I was like, it's been like 30 years. It's like, maybe I
You
should,
don't want to fall
maybe I should
hard.
take a little break from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But you still like run and stuff. Like as long as you're staying active,
for sure. I'm
right?
super
Like,
active. Yeah. I love skateboarding. I'm always gonna skate.
And
Exactly.
if need be, like if you got to bust out of the zone and there's a board, like you can push away real
Oh
fast.
yeah,
so,
for sure.
It's like riding a bike. You gotta bounce. You gotta bounce.
Straight out of nowhere. Yeah. We know you late.
You got it. Like switch varial flip.
Also, growing up on the West Coast and then coming out to the East Coast, like I'm not used to like standing on top of the little grates. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I'll slip and fall, but I mean I skate, so I'll be able to catch myself. But I remember I fucking went down the first time I came out here.
Oh, on like the
Crazy.
subway, like the
Not the the little walk
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah,
doors?
yeah.
The cellar
word in
doors.
English
Yeah.
on a frosty day, you're on the ground if you don't pay attention.
Big time,
you know?
yeah.
So-
Yeah, I actively avoid cellar doors.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you fall
Walk
through those
around.
things.
My family member
Rusted out,
did
yeah.
that, got bodied. So
You
yeah.
can make some
Oh,
money
man.
off that. You make
Yeah,
cash.
exactly. Buy the
It was
most
a guy that
you
used to
get- you
jump
get-
on them,
you-
try
the
to see
most
if they would break.
expensive
No, I actually heard a bunch of tall tales from friends in the Bronx where their families told them that they were like, "Don't walk over that because
Right.
this will happen," and da da
Right.
da. Like
I
it's like
believe
shit
those
that's in their
stories.
family, you know.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
That
It's
is crazy.
Like people are like, "Yeah, we lost your uncle. He like walked over one of those like in the '80s or something." Like,
Wow.
what the hell, dude?
So you guys just had your 10-year anniversary, right?
Yeah, we're coming up on. We just had our 11 year last year, and now we're
Okay,
coming
I'm
up on
late.
12.
Yeah, June. We celebrate in June every year, so June will be 12.
Oh shit. So 10-year anniversary was what, in 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because what was going to happen is like the 10-year anniversary was going to happen, and then COVID hit like just a few months before.
Yeah.
And we had plans to like
We had
do
big
the
plans for that 10 year.
like have
and
it
then-
be hella sick, and then
That was our 10-year
Okay.
photo issue.
and then it kind of just like because of the way that things unfolded as they
You guys were
like,
gonna have like a big party.
like
a
it was
big-
going to be a thing for
we
sure.
were, we were planning it for 10 years, and then COVID happened.
For 10 years, and then,
Training my whole life for this.
And so you guys,
yeah, exactly.
because you guys, we at that time we weren't able to do anything, right?
Not
No,
a fan.
and that was still
Yeah,
early
it's-
enough where it was like even thinking of the idea was taboo.
Yeah, and people
like it was sketchy.
Yeah.
would look at you crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
for
We're
sure,
gonna
for
throw a
sure.
Party, they'd be like,
Yeah, like if we because that was
better
like
not.
it was going to
Even,
be 4 months.
Like, I remember shipping that issue. We were emailing shops being like, would you like to delay your shipments due to contact and shit like that? Like, that's how crazy of a time it was
whenever
still,
it
you know?
happened,
Like,
we were like definitely in the studio, like, or not in the studio, like not, but we were on the computers, but like that really like threw the magazine for a loop. I think for a second. I mean, it threw everybody for a loop. Like I'm not gonna say it just us, but
Yeah, still waiting on that redemption party for the
Yeah,
10
yeah,
years.
that was my next question. So when's the party gonna be then?
June.
we're just,
Yeah.
we're just gonna wait for 20 years and then we'll just do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Do you have something planned for it, or?
We're starting to work on our plans now. Still gotta see
Got
how
some
everything's
ideas.
unfolding, but should be back to it soon with the parties and events. Hopefully.
So when you started the first zine you showed me, did you anticipate that you would be doing this 10 years later?
No, I didn't. I thought 2 months later I'd do another one, but that's as far out as I had thought. Really, it was always so awesome. Just the like response I got from people. Like people literally have always just said like they love this. Like don't stop. Like keep doing this. Like I want to see more. I'm like, all right, I'll try. Like, I mean, I love doing it, but also just the encouragement I get from people, like, makes me keep going. I didn't think I was gonna do this for this long, but things are happening, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
But you also have the right way of looking at it, where like, yeah, you just take it. I mean, not to sound cliche, but kind of like a day by day or a step by step thing, instead of being like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. When you think of things sometimes it seems, when you think of things in the bigger picture, sometimes it seems very daunting.
Yeah.
But when you think of, okay, we got through that one, cool, and we got through this one, cool,
Yeah,
and
we
then like,
can-
oh, that was fun, and then next thing you know, 10 years go by, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, us trying to plan June 6 months out is like, well, we're 6
it's like
months ahead of schedule right
You're
now.
big time
Like,
stuff right now. Yeah. Every time a new issue gets done and wrapped, we're just like, damn sick, we did it again. Like, so glad we're done with that one. When's the next one? Like,
Yeah, it's like another one down, but when's the next one coming?
like,
Also,
as soon as the
like,
mag shipped out, we're like, next issue. Like,
never even look
You
at
just
it
take
once
one
it's in print.
day.
yeah.
One day of like relaxing, and
It's
then
like
you're
roll
like,
a spliff
okay,
on the
back
new
to-
issue, and then it's old issue, and then we work on new issue.
I feel that though, because that's kind of how I go at skate club. It's like, all right, just gonna go do it next week. I don't plan like super in the future. It's just like, okay, we're gonna go again next week. You
Yeah,
know?
totally. Might
So,
have-
and then it's 3 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here we go. You know?
Yeah, it's good to have plans of like where you want to be like in the future and things like that, but you
Yeah.
gotta focus on like right now. Like
Yeah,
we're gonna do this,
facts.
and then like we got the next one is gonna be good. Hopefully we get to like where we want to be soon, but just one by one, gotta keep them going.
Just to hear you talk about it is super motivation. Thank you.
and like, you know, things are susceptible to change. Like, obviously we didn't anticipate COVID, and like that was a huge curveball for everybody, but like
Yeah.
now working through that, it's just like a whole new way of like taking steps and being like, all right, like that shit really fucking sucked, but we got through it, so now it's like a lot easier to like problem solve other things. And like I
Totally.
feel like working with these dudes, like these are the bosses, you know what I mean? And then we just kind of like rally around. But yeah.
Yeah, not having like such a set long-term plan kind of helps, you know, go with the punches and go with the flow and
Or have like
adapt.
too much like invested already, or like
Yeah.
exactly, be able to adapt. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, COVID was like a big bless because well, I mean, like I moved out of the city like right at the beginning of COVID, which was a hit initially. You know what I mean? Because like we were finally working side by side. But Sean was able to step up and do a lot of the warehousing and boxing duties, you know, that like my hands couldn't do 4 hours away. And it also just like changed the way we work, and we had more time to like focus on operations because the world stopped. You know what I mean? And so like it was it was beneficial in a lot of ways.
As weird as COVID has been, I think that for a lot of people, especially in New York, it's kind of been like the break that everybody needed.
Fucking A.
Unfortunately,
Everybody's going so hard
everybody's
and
going
fast.
so hard and fast. Unfortunately, that a lot of people died.
I was gonna
from
say,
course.
there's a lot of people that passed
Yeah.
away. Not trying to undercut the
but
severity of that.
It is like people needed to like take a step back and kind of just take a breather.
Yeah,
and, like,
reprioritize. Yeah.
Totally.
If anybody has gone through COVID and haven't like done some self-reflection and like
Yeah.
and like taken some time to like stop and take a breather and think about their lives, then they kind of wasted the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how you could not take that chance. Like,
I think like my life changed.
mean,
540 degrees in COVID. I feel
Yeah.
like, you know.
It was incredibly like scary and daunting for everybody, but it also, I think, woke up a lot of people and made them realize like their time is so valuable and like they have like their self-worth can be something else. And like you're right, like when COVID hit, it was initially so freaky, but like I was working a job I fucking hated, and like I lost that job, and then like I had more opportunity, like I had more time to just like bum around the studio with these guys, and here we are a year and a half later, and it's like, okay, we got to do this tomorrow, and we got this meeting, and like, but you know, it's like it went from like helping out a little bit to like it actually transformed like us into like being a more efficient machine. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know, it's a trip, but you're right. Like I don't want to underplay the severity of COVID. Definitely like been a heavy time,
And I bet that all of you work together to make it. The finishing product is probably super more like fulfilling, you know?
it's fun, dude. It's
You know?
really fun to be nitpicky and be like, I don't like that comma. I don't like that space mark.
Speak for yourself, man.
I love it, dude. I'm loving the nitpicky. I got my degree in journalism, so I love to like be a pest and like
But I mean, like I was saying, like I feel like I read the issue. Like Marcus and I, like you know, we just go through draft, and like by the time it's printed, I like barely look at it.
so
you know?
tired of looking at it by the time it's done.
I never
You're
watched the
like,
mission statement after I recorded. I never watch it again.
Wow, yeah.
you lived it.
I don't
dude.
want to hear my
exactly.
voice.
Like I know
were
this.
of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Transcribing interviews and shit. Like imagine having to transcribe a mission statement. you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
we
you
do
would-
6 of those every 2 months. Like
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
you're gonna go back and read it like a couple of times, like nah.
and
you're
fuck with the
like-
commas and the
Yeah,
spaces.
Yeah, for
Endless.
sure.
It's endless.
It's
And-
endless.
If you look
Skateboarders
at
talking.
yourself too much, then you start to see other things that don't need to be seen.
Oh yeah,
Kinda,
exactly.
you know?
Looking at it too much.
Yeah.
We do look at it too much, though. You know, you
I,
have
w-
to.
I was looking at you guys' site yesterday, and I was like, I don't know who any of these kids are. And that's no,
Cool.
which
Yeah,
is
kinda
cool.
cool, right?
And that's that's just me. I'm old and I don't know shit. But it goes back to what you were saying earlier, is that you guys are really focusing on like the up and coming kind of underground skaters that are not getting the
Well,
representation.
it's just about
Totally.
like anybody that like skateboarding is a general thing, and like it's become such a like. I'm speaking for myself, obviously. I'm not speaking for everybody, but it's become such a like glamorized thing, and it's like there's so many people that like are just really cool, talented skaters. He, she, they, them, whatever, and then it's like they don't get the shine because they don't fit the profile, and it's like, but they're a skater, right? Like that's something we all kind of forget. Is like we're all just skaters.
Also, just need to like take a chance on like some people. It doesn't matter if nobody knows who this person is. Maybe take a chance. Maybe everyone's gonna find out. Like, oh, they're really cool. I actually like their style, and
yeah, for
That's
sure.
true.
it's cool to have people. I mean, we try to always have a mix of like people know, and then introducing like this kid from over here. Try to put new people on too.
Yeah.
So
I always love that it's like homies at Skate Jawn. You can just contribute because everybody's the homie, you know?
And
Yeah,
people really contribute all like every day. We got
Every
people
day.
like
Oh,
check
yeah,
this
it's
out,
rad.
check that out. We're like, all right, we're liking this. Like, hit somebody up.
And like we got our homie Moeller, who does a lot of the videos and you know what I mean, website
Shout out
stuff.
Moeller.
Shout out Moeller.
Zach.
And it's been huge, you know, like people just see that other people can get their video, you know what I mean, shared on Skate Jawn, and they want to do it.
Yeah, one person gets on, then their friend does something,
Right.
and they're like, oh, can I get on there too? And then
Yeah.
And then it's
the whole
like,
town
yo,
is
we just
like-
made our second video. Would you be down to share it again? And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, buddy, you know?
And now people are like, oh, I know those kids.
what
I
I
saw their
mean?
first video.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
I go to visit my mom in Missouri every couple of months or every year or so, and that's a really small skate scene, and like it's not really happening out there, and like the homies out there, like, it's like, I forget that it's like, you know, like, it feels like gold or like unattainable. It's like, we got a photo in the mag. It's like, we're fucking pro now or something. And it's like, just to be able to give people that opportunity and remind them that they do have value and worth, even if it's not like in the big pages of some other magazine, is rad. You know what I mean? And it's still like, it's definitely a magazine, but it still kind of feels like a zine sometimes when you're like, you're doing, there's us on the couch and there's a million people behind the scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a million people that are like putting their hands in the hat that
For
aren't
sure.
here right now.
All the photographers.
All the photographers.
I still want to read the Lance Dawes interview you did because I saw something that you guys kind of related on the fact that he started a magazine kind of in the same fashion.
Totally. That was a really cool conversation.
Yeah, we got to sit down and like we talked to him for like an hour, and it was like, yeah, we were nerding out. You know what I mean? Because like it slapped, dude. You know, like
Yeah.
fucking dog. Yeah, dude. And he was the best. That he was just like, yo. So like the interview ended. He was like, that was great. He's like, yo, you guys want to like talk shit off the record for 15 minutes? And we were like, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, what kind of shit was he talking?
Nah, it's off the record, yo.
No, I love Lance Dawes. I've known that guy since I was
I was
a
like,
kid.
real
I was
proud
actually
of
in the
that
first
interview.
slap.
You were?
Damn.
I'm
In
giving
issue
my
one?
little self props here.
Nice.
I was in issue 1 of Slap.
That is
What are you doing?
cool.
yeah.
I was doing a crossover nosebone
Kudos.
slide at this little spot near Embarcadero.
Damn. Sick.
I might not have landed. I
Carroll?
might not have landed it though, but I was like 12.
Under the bridge ledges?
No, it wasn't under the bridge. It was by the bus stop.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that ledge. They took a. It was like a
You know
small
the cross
double.
one? I think Jack Kern just did that again recently.
No, that's a whole different
nose bun
thing.
over?
That's a
Okay.
whole different.
That's more
right by the
modern.
bus stop by Embarcadero. There was a
Okay.
little double
Don't
sided
even mind
ledge.
me. I'm tripping.
But see, like, look, there's somebody in issue 1 of Skate John that thinks that way too. You know, like I was in issue. Oh,
Yeah.
me actually, yeah. Like
Yeah,
I was in
you
issue 1 of Skate John.
Talking about you.
That's true.
But it's like it's cool. You know, like that feeling of being in Slap never goes away. You know, like it's cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
Fat
do you
shouts
guys-
to Lee.
Do you guys ever like have to cover things that you don't want to cover?
I don't see why
Or is
we
it-
would have to do that.
I don't.
'cause we're-
That was actually the follow up to that question because I don't know why you would. The only reason I would think you would have to do that is if you had some kind of like advertiser pressuring you or something like that, or
we're
like.
lucky. We're lucky that like.
I mean, I know it's a smaller operation, but like.
Yeah, I mean, we have some really big advertisers and like clients, advertisers, whatever. But like, it's skateboarding generally, and we're lucky that like we don't have like we're not getting pressure from like any of these companies to do nothing we don't want to do. We can, we're pretty much open to work with. If we want to work with some 12-year-old kid from some town nobody knows with, we do that. Like, it doesn't matter if we want to work.
Xavier Vasco.
Interview was sick, dude.
Where's he from?
He was
I
in
don't know,
Jersey,
but he
I
sounds-
think, right?
There's like a 12-year-old kid from Jersey that sent us all these photos wearing a helmet.
Yeah, helmet photos. But he ran
and
the
then
interview.
then the homie
He got
interviewed
run.
him.
Yeah, we did a whole interview with him. We were just
Yeah, it
like,
was sick.
why
And then
not?
one of the
Like,
questions was like, "Do you
great.
like weed or something?" And he was like, "No, dude, I'm 12." I was like, "Awesome, fantastic journalism."
but just know how exciting that is for that kid. Just makes you want to do it. You're like, man, this kid is gonna be hype.
Yo, and then he showed up. Him and his dad showed up to an event we had at Blue Park like years later.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Okay.
I'm Xavier. And we were like,
And this is my friend John Shashagwai.
That's amazing. So like the fact that you guys did that for him and kind of put a spotlight on him probably motivated him in ways that you can never even imagine.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Hopefully, right?
Like,
Yeah.
his friends too, maybe even rubbed off on
Right.
him a little bit. Just
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, just reach out to people and see what happens. If you're reaching out to us, we're gonna try to make something happen. We're gonna listen.
Yeah,
But-
exactly. We like do our best to respond timely. You know what I mean? But like just know that like if you send us something, we're gonna look at it.
We're gonna look at it.
And it's most likely, you know, probably gonna go in the pages or we'll hit you back about it, you know? And it's like I think about the same first photographer's photo, you know, because that's a really big thing for photographers.
Oh, dude, I was
Oh,
I was
yeah.
lucky enough to
That's
get to
true.
shoot some photos,
You know?
and like they put my photo in there, and I sent it to my mom. I was like, "Look, I like
Right.
shot a photo with Skate John. Like
Right.
that's my name. Like it's you know it's
Mm.
crazy.
We get a amazing, like really awesome amount of submissions, like contributions and all that. So and
Ben Colin told me he gives you guys photos occasionally.
yeah, we did a photographer interview with him, and then he's thrown us some photos for like a couple other things. He's
We
actually
got one in an interview next issue.
yeah, he's got one coming out soon. But like we can't run everything we get submitted, but if we see people like whether it's a photographer or a skater that if they keep sending stuff, like we're gonna use something eventually. Like we're gonna be like, all right, this is good.
start
Like we see
sending
what you're doing, you're
tons of
trying, you're getting
Just
better.
start subbing.
Yeah.
What's the story with the guy who sends in letters every single magazine?
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
I want to hear
Shout out,
this story.
Shaggy that's what he does. He writes letters. He's been doing it for a long time. He sends them to all different publications. He used to have them in Slap. He used to write letters to Slap constantly. He writes letters.
He'd, like pretend he'd be other people and like
Yeah.
So he does
was
this
wild.
for various magazines.
Oh yeah.
He'll write to Vogue. He's got published in GQ, like editors, letters to the editor in GQ.
Oh, so not just skating.
He's a letter writer.
His
That's what he
letters are
does.
great.
Yeah.
He's
He
in
has
the-
a book. He
Does
wrote a
anybody
book.
know who he is?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Bob
I
Crawford.
saw him the other day. Yeah.
He lives here.
It's Shaggy, dude.
So he's a famous. Sorry, go ahead.
He works at a magazine office in the city, in the mailroom, I'm pretty sure, and then he writes letters and he mails them out from there. Like he just be in the mailroom mailing out letters to whoever he wants.
Boss.
And then spending all the rest of his time on the sidewalk, or just in the
Yeah,
streets,
hanging
you know
out,
what
skating,
I mean?
like
And lurking and talking.
twerking, skating.
Crusty street skater, like
He's a skater.
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. He,
I'm trying to figure it out because I'm like, wait, GQ, like Vogue, like.
Nah, he's a skater.
gotta bring him on the
sure.
show.
he skates for sure.
Yo, yeah, bring Shaggy on the show. He'll do it in a heartbeat, man, and he will talk for 2 hours. Like you won't even have to ask questions. Like,
Yeah, Shaggy got some good things to say.
Yeah, his letters are always pretty elaborate. They have illustrations and just like
It's,
imagination on them is pretty sick.
yeah, super rad. We always get those. He's got a few topics he really likes to talk about, but a lot of he just be out skating and like kind of griping about this or that, or just talking about his experiences out on the streets, like lurking with. He likes to lurk with all the other street lurkers out here in New York, and
total character. Little white guy, like long hair, trucker hat. You know what I mean?
He's
a-
got, dude,
he's
he's
the man,
got
like-
stories, but he lives in Jersey, like, and he comes into
yeah,
the city.
shout out
Yeah.
Jers.
Shout out Jers.
Dude, he wrote a book. Marcus let me borrow his book, and it's there's no page numbers, there's no like spacing, there's no like chapters. It's just like
Death to readers?
Death to readers. It's just like you start reading it, and then like however many pages later it ends, and it's just like it's just like
They have
an
this at, like,
hour-long
Barnes and
rant.
Nobles or something.
No. But he's got copies.
He'll send you one.
Yeah, he's made a number of books for sure. Like a lot of them are like collections of zines or collections of letters.
Yeah, and then he actually makes a lot of zines too. Sometimes
Right.
he sends letters. Sometimes he sends little like zines with photos he's got. and,
One
like,
time he just sent
doodles.
us a skateboard deck.
He sent a Ninja Turtle, or he sent a random skateboard deck one time. He also sent me a whole Ninja Turtles complete skateboard.
Yep.
He was like, I just found this in the mailroom. I'll mail it to you.
That boy's in the studio.
Who sent this? And I was like, oh, Shaggy sent that. I was like, okay, we'll keep it. All right.
I mean, the letters at this point, they must like the stack must be like.
Yeah, it was
Snail
such
mail.
a file.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there's-
you'll see things in other magazines, whether it's a skate magazine or just like some random thing. I'll
I'm
photocopy
fascinated.
it.
This guy
mail it.
fascinates me.
I feel like we should do an art exhibit, which is all his letters.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or a whole book of only his letters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huh.
Are you sure
Shaggy
he's
would
not just
think
a
about-
stalker?
I mean, right before.
He did actually.
You flipped it on him. You're like, yo, you're cool. He's like, wait, what?
I mean, we've written back. We've definitely written back, or we sent him something for sure.
We've done the video. Right before COVID hit, there was a video that Joe Bonin, shout out Joe Bonin, he filmed a video called Hanging with Shaggy, I think. And it was
Shout
like,
out to his name, too.
And it was like Shaggy and Kyoto like went out for a night, and like you just saw what Shaggy was like.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Pretty
interesting.
entertaining,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty entertaining.
You guys hang out with some cool people.
You know what
Shaggy
you
and
should
Joe
do?
Bonin.
You know what you should. You know what you should do with Shaggy is the $100 bill and chill.
With Shaggy.
With
Right?
Shaggy.
I was thinking
He's
that.
actually
That sounds smart.
he's actually hit me up about doing that. I'm in talks with some other people right now because I'm the one that's like doing those little videos. But It would be sick. I'm sure we would get into some like real shit. If
I want to
did
do
it
the
with Shaq.
$100.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I want
You're
to
gonna have to start skating again first.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm
Get
probably
my
not gonna
contact
skate.
info.
It's just gonna be more chill. I'll probably just
explain it to me because
I'll probably just go to brunch and get
So-
drunk.
We were like all in the studio and we didn't know what to do and like we were kind of pitching around ideas and like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if it was like necessarily my idea or if it was like kind of like a group thing, but we were just like we're tired of the day in the life, but like what if you give someone $100? Like skaters are broke, like they would love $100, I'm sure. Like you give a hungry skater $100 and see what the fuck they do with it. And like
That's so
I've already shot 3 episodes that have aired. I have one that's we're gonna come out in at another time, and then we're talking to some other people. But it's basically just like, what would you do if you had $100 and like you were chilling with the homies all day? Like not necessarily a day in the life, but more like how would you spend it?
Yeah, how would you spend it?
I mean, Ty bought a wig and
Yeah,
got
dude.
he got
I
a
saw that
caricature
one.
of
Ty's
himself.
was-
and,
He got a
like,
caricature.
pilot
He
episode.
went to Union
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made palomas on the street.
Yeah. Ty
He
was
spent
the
a good
pilot.
deal on alcohol,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
okay.
I spent 30 on Bud. Like first 5
Why, you've
years,
done it?
probably. Huh?
You did that?
No.
Oh.
If I did,
I mean, the one we did with Caroline, like she went grocery shopping.
Dude, she went grocery shopping.
You know,
and it
I
was so
appreciate
Was that the
rad.
girl in
Yeah.
Philly?
So rad.
Yeah, what?
Was that the girl in Philly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was
Shouts
such a
to her.
fun day, dude. I showed up to film it, and she was like, "I gotta go grocery shopping." And then, do you want to go to Castle Bam? And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Like, what? The Castle Bam, dude, in West."
That's Bam's compound?
Yeah, I went to Bam's compound. It was like a dream. Like my like 11-year-old self was like, "Oh, that's Don Vito's car." Like,
How long ago was this?
a couple weeks ago. The episode's on Skate Jawn.
Was Bam there? Isn't he like going through it?
I can't really talk on that, but he's not there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how they get I heard they were having trouble getting everyone out of his house. They're like, all right, it's over.
Well,
Like,
just basically
get
like,
out of here.
I will say from what I know, like Caroline, I went down there to film, and she's dating Jeff Rasp, and her and Jeff Rasp are like really close with the Margeras and like April and Phil and all those homies. So they were just saying that like, even irregardless of what's happening with like Bam and his situation, like they just like hit up Ape. They're like, "Hey, can we come skate the compound?" And she's like, "Go ahead." Yeah. And they have the gate code, and we got a whole bunch of pizza and
Homies with
watched
Ape.
some frontside airs, and I watched Jeff Rasp be insane on transition.
This is the time where you gave her $100.
Yeah, give her $100. She killed
Yeah.
it, dude. She's the raddest person. Yeah. Shout out Caroline.
Shout out
She had
Caroline.
an issue cover or a 62 cover.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's where is it at?
She
This
skates
one?
FDR a
Dude,
lot, right?
she's so sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
FDR,
Caroline.
Gordon's Warehouse.
Rad. She's super sick.
She's got an interview in that one too. It's
Yeah.
available on our web store. You guys go pick that up.
Just let me know. I'll pack it with these things.
Props to you guys for doing that. We used to just go and take dog doo-doo with a dollar bill and go put it somewhere and watch motherfuckers pick that shit up.
What is that?
It's not quite the same,
What does
but
that have to do with what they're talking about?
No, I'm saying it was the opposite of what we did. It was like a horrible. What we did was horrible, and what they did was amazing. So it's the total opposite. And it was $1, and they were doing $100.
right.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
So
not
you're
$100
sacrificing
chill,
a
someone
do-
does that.
Yeah, I see what you're
Puts it on a
saying.
dog shit. Yeah.
They
We're
were
doing
using
lease
$100 for entertainment,
Hayden.
and you were using $1 for entertainment.
Put-
At somebody else's.
Yeah.
Entertainment. When we were in Miami on that trip, we were skating a stoop underneath like a high rise, and some dude on the patio just started like throwing money down at us. Like literally just crumpled up 20s and throwing them off to like 20 stories up, and we were just like in the street, you know, and like all catching them and shit. We came up like $100 then too.
Yeah, we were there for a while.
Per diem for the
They
day.
were- I don't know if they were throwing him at us. They were just throwing him on the sidewalk, watching people like go chase him for
rappers or
fun.
something?
Who knows?
What if it was somebody's like disgruntled baby mama, like fuck yeah,
Yeah.
throwing it out. You guys like, yeah,
Good idea. Yeah.
And you guys just put out like or maybe not just, but a short time ago you put out a full-length video, right?
Yeah, we've been doing every June we celebrate our anniversary. We've been doing photo issue every year for that, and then now we've also been doing it like video, kind of full length every year also. Those have been super fun to work on. Trying to do more video stuff all the way around, like whether it's little segments like the $100 chill thing or like just skate videos.
How putting together like a full skate video, is that a lot of work, or like how time consuming is that?
I mean, our approach to it for the past couple of years has always been kind of like the magazine, just working with a lot of different people and kind of breaking up the task into little sections and just having different people in charge of their own stuff, and then we kind of put it all together.
Yeah, like build out a roster of people, and then they're kind of working on it the most, you know. And so, I mean, not always. There's obviously a lot of work involved and shit like that, but yeah, it's just like the magazine. It takes a village, you know.
Let people do their own thing, and then just work to help make it all together.
Yeah, it's kind of like there was like a rough theme, I think, for like last year's video. It was a whole bunch of homies in different cities. It was like Vinny in Texas, and then we had like the Philly edit and the New York edit and like a Japan edit, and like it was just kind of like all these like different crews throughout. So that was kind of a theme, but I feel like in the past there's also been some like other kind of themes, or like it's taking what everybody gives us and making something complete.
I always normally go for a variety of people, style of music, style of filming, just
And
location,
Location,
like,
you know what I mean? It's the same thing about like putting everybody on. Like it's not just here, it's not just there. Got to give love to get love, like
For sure. Totally. No,
A lot of
for
good
sure.
ideas.
And how many videos have you guys done? Full length videos have you?
I mean, back in the day, like Marcus had some OG ones.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
like talking
Like
about
your
like.
own personal ones, or
Not like Skate John, like the early videos.
Oh yeah, I mean, going way back, I got my own personal ones too. I mean,
Yeah.
when I started skating, my homies were way better than me, and they had a camera. They'd film each other all the time. So when I started skating, they just handed me their camera. They were like, "Film us too." And I was like, "All right, y'all doing?" I'm like, "I'm out of tricks already. Y'all still going? I'm gonna film you for like the rest of the day." I made like 3 videos when I was still in high school,
okay.
and then like we made
Are
a.
they on the site?
Nah, that's they in the
Or, like,
archives. They're on
yeah,
VHS
yeah.
back at the house.
Yeah.
But the first year of the magazine, we did a little Skate Jawn commercial #1, and that's on the site. That was like the first kind of full length. And then we did a lot more like montages back then. We're trying to get more of that going now.
Like
but
Skate John, Vid John. That was
yeah, that was like the second full video.
Too.
yeah.
Then there's the Bruns videos. Shout out Kevin Winters. Just a
Shout out
good
Kevin
homie.
Winters.
Filmed
I saw that. I don't know what's Brun's videos. I saw that on the site.
Bruns, man. They're the truth. Go watch those, and you're gonna see
There's a-
Because there was a lot of stuff on there. I was like, I can't watch all this
John
shit.
Gardner
Yeah.
parts,
Nick Stain.
Nick Stain
Yeah.
parts.
Nick Stain. He
That was
Stain's
like-
Bruns one part.
That was the first couple of years when we started the magazine. Our homie Kevin was filming these videos, made 2 of them, and that was our skating for those years. We'd go out with him like as much as we could, film for that.
Very important
photos.
videos.
I'm gonna have to do my homework.
Then they did like the 50th issue. Like there was a video for that.
Yeah,
That was the one
50
before
video.
John's vid, right?
Fiddy and then John's
and Fiddy
vid
and then John's vid. Yeah.
were like the more recent iterations, I think.
yeah.
Right? Just those 2,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So is there a Skate John team, or is it just kind of like the homies?
Nah, no team. We
No
got
team.
DMs asking, you sponsor? Like, nah, we didn't sponsor. We ain't got a team right now, but we got a lot of affiliates. We got-
A lot of associates.
gang
Yeah.
affiliated.
A lot of homies. Dude.
It's all
Everybody's
homies.
on the flow
Everyone's-
team. You get a
Everyone's on the
t-shirt.
flow team.
Yeah.
It's the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
We were just down at the World Trade Center, little kids giving out Skate John stickers for tricks down the floor. They're on the team, man, for sure.
They're on the
yeah.
team now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that comes through, we definitely try to lace them up and like get them right. Cause why not, right? Like
Yeah.
remember when like if you were younger, like you went to like someone's like store or something, like here's a free T-shirt. You're like that T-shirt means so much more. Just
Oh,
not
yeah.
because it's free, but it's like free and it's your homie shit, and you're like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
rep the shit out of this.
connection.
Like I always try to hook people
Like
up.
that's the attraction to skateboarding when you're young. Like all these cool little things, you know.
Well, to think that you're doing something that like results in you getting like blessed. It's like, oh, you're killing it. So here's some free shit because you're cool. It's like that makes people
Motivation.
Yeah, it makes people feel
Like,
good,
oh, I
and they're
should
like,
keep doing
damn, like,
this.
like oh, I gotta. If like sometimes like I do a lot of the ordering stuff, and like every once in a while it's like someone like gets something, and I'm like, fuck it, dude, you're getting 2. Or I'm gonna throw this in. Like, why not? Like I know I'd be stoked. Like,
This does not happen to all web orders. Disclaimer, disclaimer.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Like, we're not like. it doesn't. We're not trying to be like stingy or exclusive. It's just like it's it's like fuck it, dude. Like show some
You're down
love.
to hook
Yo,
people up.
we're a free magazine. You know what I mean? Like the goal is to keep things as cheap as possible to skateboarders. You know, that's like the whole point of this. And like the golden ticket. We always try.
I was
to,
gonna say you should throw one of those.
we
in
did.
one
We've
of
done a golden ticket multiple times. You know.
Yeah, a little contest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did a contest.
Yeah, definitely. And
And some shoes.
nah, it was like $100 worth of shit for sure. Yeah, and like a like a new subscription to the magazine. You know what I mean?
So you put a golden ticket in a
in a mag, yeah,
couple
magazine.
magazines,
because we
actually,
have
yeah.
personal subscribers
Yeah.
too that'll just get 2 copies, and so out of those envelopes, 2 or 3 of them got a golden ticket slid in there.
and then they get gear.
And then they got a bunch of stuff. They hit us up. They, their subscription goes longer, and yeah.
Remember we were packing that one issue? We had to do some like little insert and all of them. We had all the homies in the studio just like helping out.
That was debauchery.
Remember, like one homie threw a couple dollars in there. Somebody like saw him like throw $1 in when he was like packing the mags. We were like, all right, so, a little surprise for somebody.
gonna be stoked. Go buy some candy.
Yeah, man.
Throw some shit on it.
Damn, the disrespect.
Never. That will never happen at a web order.
Contribution.
I would skate, not at the skate zone headquarters.
Dude, we were so
Wash your
mean.
hands a lot.
We wouldn't even know. We just thought it was funny.
Man, you guys got a lot going on though. Like between like skate as the zine seems manageable, but then when you add on top of that like social media, full length videos, video content. What else are you guys doing? Just
Merchandise.
merchandise. Yes,
Yeah.
we want to talk about that too. It's like, how are you guys juggling all of this stuff?
Trying to do more too. What else? Like, what else can we add to that list? Let's get
And you
a,
got your
got a
name in the
radio
streets.
show.
Right.
Like people know and talk about it. You know what I mean? So
Thanks.
huge.
I think
Yeah,
I think that's
appreciate
more
it.
important than social media sometimes. Obviously, that's really helpful. But like the people that don't have social media that are still like in the cut and they fucking know about Skate Jawn, it goes deeper than that. But it's also like exciting, it's like it feels like a lot, but it's also be like the opportunity to do more. Oh, we can make a new shirt. Oh, we can do a new thing. Like it's crazy to see. Like when I first started working out, it was like these dudes in like a 5x5. Like not really, but I was like this tiny little studio, them crammed next to each other, like really smoky. And like now to see it like has expanded and like,
Bigger.
dude, it's 10 feet bigger, but it's bigger and there's more resources and like it's just
Lots
it's
more
cool. It's really
smoke.
cool.
Nah, I mean, we come a long way. Like Marcus was living in Philly, I was living in San Francisco. We were doing this off 2 computers. You know what I mean? Like, and it's been a long road. So having 20 by 20
How
or
many
whatever,
computers we got now? 3?
right? At least 3. We got way more than 3 now.
My
Like,
desk is like 2 computers. I'm like over here, and then I'm like over here. I'm like cross-referencing.
but yeah, you go.
I mean, to get back to it, like I feel like you really have to do everything these days. I mean, like you can't not do the social media. You can't not have a website. We like print is kind of like the main focus. That's like what we really love. But I mean, I also love the merch stuff. I love doing graphics and that
I
stuff.
mean, each one of those things. Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah, no,
I was gonna say each one of those things could be a full-time job, like a social
Yeah.
social media manager, production,
totally.
clothing production.
Hopefully they.
magazine editor, like
Hopefully they become full-time.
Yeah, hopefully, it's like right now,
Cool.
right now, definitely juggling a lot, but always looking to have more people in the mix, more people helping out, because we really do want to always like, oh yeah, we can do some more stuff if we have a little bit more help. So we got Sean helping us a little bit more. We're like, all right, now we can do more of this and that.
Right. And it's just about like building that infrastructure, and that's what like the last decade has been like, really, of Marcus and I kind of like building, you know what I mean, all the shit on the back end to where we know where the merchandise shit is, we know where the photos are, we know where the videos are, you know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of cleaning, a lot of house cleaning, a lot of work just to do that shit, you know what I mean? So it's now we finally got it. We got some pretty good systems running, I'd like to say. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
it's definitely when I first started, I thought like, because I bugged him like via email. I was like, hi, I want to like come by and help out. And I thought it was gonna be like,
That's not true.
sounded
You
just
hunted
like
me
that.
down.
I
at the
hunted
Fitty
him.
party.
It says,
I won't go into
Mickey
how
Mouse
hard
voice.
I tried to work
Do
for
what
this
all
magazine,
skaters do. He confronted you in the back of a bar. Waiting.
That's right, exactly.
But
I think we should work together, man.
No, it's like, dude, your magazine is so sick. But like to see the system now, where it's like obviously from afar, Skate Jawn has like it's perceived a certain way, but like now you're right. Like we have like a workflow, and there's like we have references, and we're like all like on the computer chatting with each other and like cross-referencing shit, and like definitely feels like these guys have got a really good system in place for like how everything runs. It makes
'cause
my
we're
life
trying to expand.
Yeah, it makes my life
Trying to grow.
easier.
You know
Trying
what
to
I
do
mean?
10 people's jobs, each one of us.
You know how
but
they
hopefully
say
you
like
get 10 more
fake it
people.
till you
Yeah.
make it. You guys are doing more than that. You're making it until you make it. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Make it till you make it.
Yeah, make it till you make it. Like,
Make it
for
till
real.
you make it more.
Making something, and
To make
we're gonna
more.
make it.
That's awesome. And
We are
It's a
making it,
thing,
and we're
yeah.
gonna
And,
make it.
and that's a good point because we're making something.
Yeah, you're
where a
not
lot of
faking it,
people
you're making
are.
it till you make
I mean,
it,
I'm
you
not
know?
saying like graphic designers or like computer heads aren't making something, but like we're making something you can hold.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's
and-
tangible. It's
yeah.
physical.
There's
Yeah,
value
yeah.
in that for sure. you
Like there's something very special about that still.
Yeah.
Because like when we were all growing up, like the magazine, dude, you like get a magazine, you obsess over it. Like
Yeah.
you read through it, you like really analyze
Put it
what
on
it
your
is.
wall. You remember that
Put it
when
on
we
your-
covered
oh,
his whole
hell
room?
Yeah.
We
that
got
was-
one homie hit us up. His whole room's covered in Skate John's floor to ceiling.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask about that because in the world we live in today, do you ever, like you guys both write articles?
Yeah.
Did you ever like write something and you think like, are people reading this shit? Because like
I
you know,
honestly
not
like.
to not
Oh,
to
no,
say it,
I
but
hear- I hear
just
you.
the
Yeah.
way the kids these
Oh.
days they're like,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yep.
Yeah, I
6
mean,
seconds. 6 seconds. 6
Uh-huh.
seconds. But
we have a lot of words in our magazine, and we really like are carefully going through every issue, trying to make sure that it reads good and all of that. And then at the same time, though, I'm like, this is a skate magazine. I think about the little kids, and when I started skating and stuff. Like, I know that I don't think these kids have any longer attention spans these days. Like, I just imagine little kids like tearing through it. They're not reading it necessarily.
we're looking at the photos.
But but then some people I know are, because people talk to me and they were like, "Oh, I read this," or people like reference things, and I'm like, "Wow, you guys actually read this?" I'm like, "All right,
And then
cool."
We built in a system too where like 2 months after the issue's been circulating in the streets, it goes online. For all those computer heads that are like reading on their phone on the train over reading a magazine on a train for whatever reason, but like people can still read it in another
In a digital format.
another format.
That's
yeah.
dope. That's really dope.
Something you just said made sense to me, where it's like maybe we had the same attention span, but we just didn't have something else to look at.
Yo.
Right? So you read the same mag over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because
It
kids nowadays, okay, they look at that, and then they have there's not some,
Options are endless.
Their options are endless.
You can't read it all in a day. Can't
Yeah,
look at all these
yeah.
photos in a day, or
Right.
watch all these parts, or.
Who had Lion King on repeat? I did. I had Lion King as a child.
Yeah,
on repeat.
I never
Last
watched-
week, yo.
Let's watch it again. I saw that scene like fucking 20 times.
I don't know about Lion King, man. It's kind of crazy.
That's some skate videos.
I was gonna say for me it was like Cataclysmic Abyss or something.
Watch Chombo on this.
Man down.
Next episode, I'm not even here. It's just like I don't know about Lion King. bro.
Lion King is kind of sus, bro.
No, I think that there is like a kind of reception that we can see though, because I think now people are they're realizing more about social media and its impact, and some people are kind of like still trying to take a step away, where it's like they do want to read more, they do want to like listen to records and tapes again, and like kind of like take a step back from the social media because they realize the value in these tangible things.
Just put the phone down for a minute.
Yeah, put your phone down for a minute. You know.
What am I gonna do now? I need a magazine or like something.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll say I'll be
Change the
sitting
pace.
at house in the middle of the day and like I'll pick up a magazine that isn't Skate Jawn because I've read them too many times, and I'll all of a sudden be at the end of the magazine like an hour and a half later, and it's like you can't really do that out on the phone because there's no end point, and
Endless, yeah.
Yeah.
It's constant gratification too, and it's like with this, it's finite, and then it also lives in a different part of history. Like you get your photo in issue 60 or whatever, and it's like no matter what, that photo is always going to be in issue 60, even if the social media account gets deleted. Like it's going to be floating around somewhere.
and maybe the young buck that tore through the issue didn't read a single word. that's going to be on the back of his toilet for 4 years. You know what I mean? And then he's going to clean his bathroom for the first
He'll
time.
eventually get to the that interview.
He might look at it later and see something totally
I'm
different.
saying,
like,
exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And then be like, that dude? He's
Yeah.
got an interview?
Yeah,
What?
like, oh shit, it's just been right here the whole time.
Exactly.
Oh, that spot? Like, I didn't even notice that.
One time,
Exactly.
I was talking to Joey Pepper one time, and he said something. He was like, "There's gonna, with all this digital content, there's gonna be in the future, there's gonna be a gap. Once technology changes, they're gonna lose it. Everything's gonna be lost."
Right.
He was saying it's a possibility that could happen because, like you said, there's nothing tangible. There's nothing. It's all gonna be on these digital.
Yeah,
platforms
exactly.
That are gonna be outdated, and nobody's gonna.
That's a fear. Like, you can't update a book. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
The reason that we know what we know from thousands of years ago, because
It's because it got written
Physical
down.
Yeah,
It's physically
objects and,
archived, you know, and that's
Exactly.
important. And I think that, like I said, like I think people are like starting to kind of pick back up on that. Like Instagram's been around for 10, 11 years now. Like some people are kind of starting to see like what it's turning people into. Like I think there is a little bit of a pushback now, and so to be able to push through that as a magazine is pretty sick. Like it's 2021, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we started the same year as Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was an interesting
Very
like
good.
point of reference.
Mm.
But yeah, and just always loved like the physical aspect too, just because, and being a free magazine also, it's literally like we go to a new town or something, you're like, hey, I made this, you can have it. This is my name, and it's just like and it's something to like. People get hyped, and it's like, yeah, you can have this. Like, it's just cool to have something free for people. It's like a, just a little gift, and like also it's like, connects them with what you're doing and where you're coming from. But I just love walking into a new town. I got something for everybody. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, everybody, here's what I got
It's
for
a
you.
good icebreaker.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like how I made half my homies in San Francisco. You know, it's like I had to bully them into taking a skate, John. You know? I'm sure I
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I was ignorant with it
you
too,
guys live
though.
in San Francisco around the same time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
would be at the island all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I was like. That's why I was telling him like, yo, the name Skate John has been floating around my head.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
it
lot of
never really, like,
sewer cap hoodies
you know
at the
what I'm
island.
saying? It
Yeah.
caught up- yeah, exactly. It caught up when I got out here, and then I don't know.
Yeah, you saw it out there, and then you come here, you see a little bit more,
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just put all this together, and people introduced me to you. I was like, oh shit, this is dope. This is good.
Yeah, that's right.
The People skateboard magazine. You know what I mean?
It's fun too. Like anywhere you go, I'll just take a stack of stickers and it's like make my mark or whatever. Like when I went to Missouri, like the way I met the skaters out there who are now like contributing videos and like wanting to be more a part of it. It's like literally just like, hey, what's up? What's your name? Here you go. Here's a mag. It's like, and then months later, it's turned into like, oh, I submitted some photos. Me and my friends made a video we want to put up. Like, cool. Like,
And that's like the mags go everywhere. You know, like we have a incredible like group of shops, that support us, and you can find them in tons of skate shops. But we also have like a whole dedicated crew of individuals all over that will just go to skate parks, go to skate spots. You know what I mean? Keep spreading the word and like getting more people, just into it.
Guerrilla marketing.
Exactly.
we have like homie distro. Like you send 100 mags to like the homie in Texas, and next thing you know, they're popping up in Corpus Christi and like Galveston and like Odessa and like
You find a skate John in the street in Boston, Massachusetts, that was Garrett Daly.
or an SF, maybe Will Boyer or something.
So with the social media stuff, is there a structure to the way you guys do it? Like, are you guys like replying to people? Is it like I have to post one post per day, or like
We're not that
social media is
structured.
crazy? Like
It is a crazy new world, and I feel like it's still pretty new. I feel like everyone's still figuring it out, and it changes fast. So we don't have no strict rules about like, yeah, post every day or this and that. We're just trying to figure it out the best we can, like everyone else. I feel like taking all the new. It's also, like I said, like nowadays you have to do the website, you have to do social media, you have to do everything, and it's a really like valuable thing for us. Like a lot of cool interactions come from it, but it's like you're saying, a full-time job, and like, that's a huge one. And
a
Like we
huge
split it.
job.
Like
Yeah.
the homie Moeller, again, he took on a lot of that work. But like, the only reason I got an Instagram in the first place was because of Skate John. You know what I mean? And like, and I knew that there needed to be more hands. You know what I mean? Like in it. And then I fell down the fucking rabbit hole of it myself.
I mean, it's
whatever,
fun.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
but like, yeah, it's a very important tool. And right now we have a homie
that we work with. Like it still takes a village, you know, but like one homie's been doing a lot of that, and that's been really, really helpful because we prioritize more important shit in our eyes than social media, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I always, like I was talking about since high school, I was pretty young. I wanted a skate magazine. It was like a dream come true. I didn't really want an Instagram job. Like that wasn't part of the dream, you know. But my friends had to make me a Facebook. They didn't, like, all that. Yeah, I'm the type of dude, like people had to make me a Facebook. Like somebody else made the skate Jawn Instagram.
Yeah.
Like some of my homies like started the magazine. They're like, yeah, we got the Instagram and stuff.
So you
and
kind
it'd
of
be like a different dude every couple months. Like you'd be like, all right, I got the password now, and it'd be like a guy's personal Instagram for the first couple of years. Like,
I mean, we changed the password now, but it was Skate Jawn, password Skate Jawn. And I would just tell everybody, I'd be like, yo, yeah, hop on the Instagram, like just post it or whatever. Like, it was just loose in the beginning. That was.
And I remember, and then when I got on, I was like, yo, like I'm trying to learn Instagram. I was like, we gotta be like other people, and like we'd be like,
you got to post on Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Post like that.
5 hashtags.
Yo, immediately we'd be hearing it from people like, yo, what the fuck you guys doing? Don't be like that and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like so. It's a lesson.
So they know you're really.
It's also a flavor thing. You know what I mean? Like I think we have the power as Skate Jawn to like have our own flavor, and we don't necessarily have to like have that system of Instagram now where it's like every Monday at 8 a.m. It's like I think people kind of realize now the more people that follow the Instagram like have a better idea of how the Instagram works. Like we tell people the information they need to hear, but we're not like what's up? We're like here right now. Blah 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 blah. Like 50 posts later. It's the news. It's like yo, issue out. Interview online, new video now. You know what I mean? It's like we it's let the you news. know when you need to know. Like,
People find us on there. We got a lot of followers. It's really awesome, but we had never really been
you
like,
guys have a
yo,
big
check
following.
out our Instagram. I don't think we ever said that to
I was gonna
nobody.
say, I don't
Like
know,
people just
it's
find it.
It's a resource we use. It's like, oh, you like the mag? You're probably on Instagram. You'll find
I
that.
think Instagram nowadays is just Mando. Like
Yeah.
for some people, for
Totally.
business and stuff. So it's
For
like they're not
business,
even gonna
yeah.
like even ask you. They're gonna be like, oh, they must have an Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
it's kind of like
Of
that.
course.
But I feel
such a dope name too, like Skate Jawn. You're gonna want to look it up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you'll never
And
forget
honestly,
it.
it put me on to like the whole Philly swag, like Skate Jawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's like
yeah.
a Skate Jawn. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a
You know where
talking
we're
and
from.
shit. You know? Yeah.
So, is Jenkum kind of like your competition?
No competition there. I'd say we do pretty different things. I mean, they're a
What about Quarter
website.
Snacks?
Those are both websites. We're a magazine, like first and
Yeah.
foremost.
Yeah.
Those are like
just
Quarter
talking
Snack.
shit,
Shout out Costa. Like
Shout out Costa. Big
Yeah.
respect,
Shout out
Costa. Costa. Yeah.
Whenever
I get a Quarter Snacks repost, I still feel like a 12-year-old.
all of them. Yeah, like they're always Quarter Snacks repost our stuff all the time. Like Jenkum will like shout us out, things like that. It's really no competition. We're
No,
just
I know.
We're a
And-
different platform. Like those are websites. We make a magazine. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
we make a print magazine every 2 months. Our main goal is like, every 8 weeks, you're getting something in your hand. No diss to them. I mean,
No,
it's
I
like
know,
it's
I know.
media, right? It's
Those are their-
skateboard media.
those
There's
are our
always going to
East
be
Coast
media.
media family.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
100%.
And yeah, they're like you said. Yeah, they're here. You know what I mean? So they're doing it for the East Coast, which is important.
I like that you guys incorporate art into it as well. You do.
hell
You've
yeah.
had some stuff in there before, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
Yeah.
And then,
Same with you.
Yeah, well, it's coming. It's coming.
and then, but so every article you focus on, and every issue you focus on a new artist, or
yeah, we always have
feature a artist.
Yeah, I always have like a featured artist, art spread, give them like a whole 2 pages. And
Every single one. I think we've had
That's
65 artists. Never been double. So 65 different artists have had center spread.
yeah, I've always done that. It's a great, and it doesn't always have to be skaters, but we obviously have a lot of skaters doing the art for us because they reach out or just people we know. But just a part of skating, art in general. I just want to have that in there always.
For
Can,
sure.
can I send you some photos of the boards I've made?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like the designs that I've done with Sharpie.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
stuff like
submit
that.
it.
Yeah, cool.
Any
cool.
art you got, we're down to check it out. Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to do an art spread, man. I'll
I'll
send it.
explain
Damn,
too. I'll like send you like an explanation of like. what I'm
dude,
doing,
dude.
Yeah.
Our door is open. Homies at skatejohn.com. Anything you want to talk about, man.
That's
we're
fun.
here.
Honestly, it's fun to do it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody has to communicate with each other still. It's not like, yeah, email me. and I'll get to it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, no, send it to me. I'll send it back to you, and then you know what I mean? Yeah. It's cool, man.
I
It's
think
like
that's called emailing.
yeah, that too. But like actually like chopping.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the world is always looking for new ways to do things, right? And once they hit a stop, like a wall, they just kind of go back to the old school ways.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be like, oh wait, this still works. So
Yeah.
let's just go do this again.
Cassette tapes.
Yeah.
That shit
Dude,
works.
yo, if anybody needs cassette
Polaroids.
tapes, let me know.
You know, those came back around like
Film
just all the
photography,
cool shit,
stuff
you
like
know?
that. This is what we're saying, kind of researching, people realizing the value and
Yeah.
documenting things. Because now it's like iCloud. It's like, oh, I have everything in the iCloud, but it's
Yeah,
like,
fuck a iCloud.
yeah, it sucks, dude. Like, especially people that like, we like to shoot film photos. A lot of them, like, there's a lot of photos in the magazine that end up being film photos and stuff. Like,
Totally.
you know, we just had a film cover. Issue 63 was a film cover. Like, it's important to like kind of hold on to that shit because as we get further into the future and it's like VR and digital, like these are the things that were so important to people for so long. But
Totally.
yeah, I don't know.
External hard drive. No, I'm just joking.
I wanted to ask you about that trip to Morocco you went on. Or did you go on that also?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
bud.
was there. Yeah.
You went too?
Not me.
That
was these homies.
Such an amazing.
Is that the cover from that?
experience.
Dude,
This is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole special issue. we made.
Tagazout. How do you say that? Tagazout.
Tagazout.
Tagazout. Tagazout, Morocco.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me about that trip. How did that happen?
Say it really started from my homie Sloan, Paul there. Shout out Sloan.
Shout out Sloan.
Fifth Pocket Skate Parks, Jesse.
Shout out
all
Fifth
of them.
Pocket.
So Sloan's been building skate parks for a few years now. He's got his whole company now, Fifth Pocket. And he's also done some volunteer builds. Like I think the first one he really did was in Nepal. And
amazing.
he went out there and worked with some people he met, some people he knew. And it sounded so amazingly cool to me. I just thought that was kind of the coolest thing. And then after that, like a year or two after, he's like, yeah, those people, they're doing another one. It's in Morocco.
What's the organization called?
Uh,
Oh, you just told me. but-
Make life, skate life.
Yeah,
Make
Make
Life
Life
Skate
Skate
Life,
Life is the organization that did this build.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'd wanted to go to Morocco since I was living in Spain. I'd always heard about it so much. Knew it was like super close to Spain, obviously it is. Kind of far from Madrid, but I was like, I'm going there no matter what. Noah was like, yeah, I'm down too. Worked it out. We got some help, like some people hooked us up, a little support to go there. And I don't know why. I mean, I do. It's because I used to live in Madrid, but we met up in Madrid, and then me and Noah went to the skate park build by land. We took trains, buses, took the boat over to Morocco, and then like 6-hour train.
And Marcus had a pull suitcase full of like saw blades and tools for the
Power
build and
tools
shit.
and
Power
stuff.
tools, yeah.
Is that why you guys didn't just fly?
I wanted to take the boat. I wanted to take the boat to Africa across the little.
Fun, yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
honestly, that was like that saved our ass too, because we met that dude Pierre who ended up like saving our asses in Casablanca, and he was on the boat and like
Yeah, I
remember
mean,
that?
yeah,
Saved
it
you
took us.
from what?
Well,
Sleeping on the streets of Casablanca on a Moroccan holiday. I don't know.
it took us 3 days. We left Madrid. We showed up 3 days later, and we hadn't really planned how we were getting there or where we were staying in between at all. We were
planned
just
trainer
winged
bus
it.
stop by trainer bus stop. Like you know.
What city does the boat leave from in Spain?
Went from Tarifa.
Gibraltar, right?
No,
where?
that's we went from Tarifa.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
and we
one of
crossed
most
the
south.
Gibraltar.
Okay.
And then we landed in I forget the name of the town in Morocco or the city. in
Yeah,
Morocco.
the first one. Of those.
Tangier.
Yeah.
It was Tarifa to
Tangier.
Tangier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did you get to this town, Tagazout?
Trains mainly.
Trains mainly.
A couple of
yeah.
long train rides, like a 6-hour one.
If you
another,
are, if
something
you're
like
ever
that.
in Morocco, buy the first class train ticket.
You can
You
probably
can afford it.
Yeah.
Why did you guys not buy the first class?
No,
train
we
ticket?
did.
We
Oh,
did
okay.
because of this man Pierre. Like he knew what was going on, and it's like no, way bigger than that, dude. Like it's like yeah, like, the first class one had toilets. I think like
Okay.
put it
No,
that way. Like
we went in the bathroom. It's just a hole.
a hole. Yeah,
See
yeah.
The tracks going like under the train, and just like a little hole in there.
But apparently in the
That's real.
coach train, that toilet is full. Like the hole's backed up. You know what I mean? Like it's a yeah,
we all-
exactly.
I think I would rather. I think I'd rather go in the hole without just air.
It's crazy. I mean, dude, we were like, you smoke spliffs. You're like standing in between car trains, and the
Yeah.
doors are just open. Like you could just walk out of it if you wanted to while it's
Yeah.
moving. It's like
It was like that in a regular house in Istanbul. It
Yeah.
was like a regular spot, and then we're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just going to the bathroom." It's like a hole in the wall. In the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
"Oh snap!"
So you guys show up in this town, and so it takes you 3 days to get there from Madrid.
yep.
And then, so what happens when you get there? Like you're meeting a team of people there that are gonna build this.
It was like
skate park?
100
Yeah,
people.
Sloan was already there. There's volunteers from around the world, and yeah, just start building. Work every day, all day, pretty much. There's normally wasn't a lot to skate out there until you make it.
Yeah.
So like you just kind of work all day, and then later on you start to like mess around skating a little bit where you can.
Yeah, if the concrete's dry. But like Make Life had gotten 2 houses in the town, and then the skate park was being built at like the very top of the hill, and so we didn't even know that we were staying in one of those houses when we got to Tagazoot. You know what I mean? Like we did not make any
Like,
plans.
I think we have a place to stay, but let's just
So
let's
how long were
find
you in
out.
the? How long was the whole process? Like how long?
Like
were
the
you guys
build
there?
was like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So we were like, we were there for like, it's honestly the 4-year anniversary, like right now. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's like the end of December, the end of December. No,
Yeah.
it's like right now, honestly. I
Yeah.
think it was December 14th that the opening party was, the celebration.
Okay.
And that was, 4 years ago.
Happy anniversary.
If I'm
Happy
not
anniversary.
mistaken as well, you guys were putting together a regular magazine at the time as well, right?
Yes, we
Like you guys were putting, like you guys were like trying to get an issue out, while also
We
taking a
did, man.
train
It was-
that has a hole for a shitter to go build a skate park. Like,
Yeah, so during the build in the mornings, actually, every day, me and Noah would walk down to like the beach and have coffee and work on laptops with Wi-Fi for like a couple hours. Then we'd hit the construction site, do the build all day. Like the one day we had a
Sick.
This was sent
Is that
literally from
Doral?
a job box in Morocco.
we were already at the
Yeah,
construction site. I had
Doral.
to like finish the magazine. You know, we got a deadline we're trying to make. We're like sending it to the printer back in America, like talking to them on the phone. Trying to use my cell phone Wi-Fi and like the construction job box. Like Noah's got a photo of me sitting there, like got the
I think I
laptop,
just saw it when I was flipping through there.
got like the laptop on a welding machine.
Like,
Like
we were working while we were volunteering our work, you know? Like,
That's
that was
amazing.
fun. That was
In the video that you guys, or that was on your website, it looked like a lot of the kids were like pretty good at skating already.
it's a big surf
Like,
town.
Like they didn't,
Yeah.
like they weren't doing tricks necessarily, but they were like kind of like there was
Pumping
at
and,
least
like-
like 20, 30 kids like
Oh, yeah.
that could just cruise around the skate park that had just been built.
No, it's because
Yeah.
they
So
all
it's like,
surfed. They all
how
surfed.
do they all know how to do that already?
like, kids are
Like they weren't just like.
I mean,
they
no,
were just
there's
like,
also, there was Ali Tamara. Ali out there, Tagazoot Skate Park. Shout out Ali. He's been putting on, like, he'll be like the tour guide if teams come out there. And he built a DIY like a few years earlier in that town or like close to it. And so I feel like maybe some of the kids learned from him, you know, over the years. But like they were all good surfers. Like there was one
And then
kid that was at the job site every day, Abdullah, that was like a legendary surfer in Morocco, and he was 9 or some shit.
Oh,
You know what I
to
mean?
the skateboard, like he hadn't skateboarded really much before, but he could do it.
Yo,
like, just, like already.
We just found him on Instagram actually, and he's ripping that park now. Like that's
Wow.
his
Yeah, I've
park.
seen that.
You know what I
He's
mean?
killing it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Damn, that's amazing.
I
Yeah.
would think like learning surfing, you get your whole balance thing down, and it just transfers straight to skateboarding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm pretty sure the kids are like, oh well, all right.
And a lot of that park is kind of built like surfing. I don't know, like, you know, there was a lot of really unique aspects to the park because it was like 100 people from Sweden, Japan, Australia, you know what I mean, the UK, America, all these different like styles of building, all these different ideas, and
That's dope.
it just all came together like really crazy. you
Where
know?
is that organization based out of?
Make life, skate life.
It's American, I want to say.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. But those guys travel around a lot too. And then
I mean, I was going to say, like, from that build, there became so many other organizations that grew out of, like, this international unity, you know? Like,
with like a lot of overlap, some of the same people. And
Yeah.
some other similar organizations like Wonders Around the World is another one that we have some friends that do these skate parks around the world for the youth.
Shout out Josh and Elena.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to go to Skate Pal.
Oh yeah, in
To
Palestine. Yeah.
I was looking into
Make
that.
Life definitely has done some stuff. I know they did a build in Iraq and a few other like Middle Eastern
Is that
builds.
who Luke works for?
Luke's on like most of their stuff now.
Because I see he's like he was just
yeah.
building one in like Ghana.
Yeah.
On Wonders.
Yeah,
on
for Wonders,
builds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is so
Yeah.
rad to think about skateboarding being expanded and like taken to a place like
He
that.
actually, the homie Luke, he wrote a crazy ass article on the site on a Wonders build in Zambia over the last year.
I saw that.
He
I
got
saw
COVID,
Uh-huh.
and as a harrowing tale of him. You know what I mean? Like,
That
Yeah.
sounds really.
I'm
it
gonna
was,
have to
it was
read
a
that
wild
now.
one. Yeah.
Oh wow! So when and then also in these like, did they donate setups to the kids in the area or?
Yeah.
It's like I don't really think there's skate shops around.
Shout
there,
out
right?
Jenna Hurt. Donate for skate.
Yeah, one of the people, Jenna, that always comes on these builds, she has a whole like organization she set up just to collect boards and go there and actually hand them to the kids and deliver them.
She's got I interviewed her in issue 50, and like she's like this tiny little lady, and she'll fly with like 100 skateboards because it's
Really?
cheaper to pay the bag fee for airlines with your
100
boards.
skateboards commercial
than
on
it
a
is to-
commercial airliner.
Yeah, but you just got to check these huge bags, and like she tells stories where like some countries she can't bring in the like trucks because they're metal and this, that, and the other, and so like it takes so much
You would
work.
also have to pay taxes though when you get to that country.
Exactly.
I've had that's happened to me in Barcelona before, bringing a box of skateboards.
Yep.
They're like, "What are you going to do with this?" I'm like, "I'm going to use it," and they're like, "No, well,
Yep.
you got to pay taxes on it." I had to pay like 200 euros out of my pocket.
What?
She actually tells a story. I think she was in like, pretty sure I want to say it was Bolivia, some South America country, where her like 20 boards got stuck in customs, and they went out, and I forget even how, but they like raised the money to get the boards out. You know, it was a crazy one, but yeah, she puts in mad work, and then they have all the boards there, and there's somebody that always will be kind of running the space. You know, after the builders leave and go to the next one, there's going to be people that are kind of like managing the community and like, you know, utilizing it the right way.
Help
So
get those resources there.
exactly. Yeah.
So it's not just a build and then, all right, cool guys.
Exactly.
enjoy."
Like, all right, no skateboards here, but you have a skate
Yeah.
park.
Yeah, exactly.
Best of luck. Nah, like that's why Wonders is so beautiful because they incorporate the youth to every aspect of the build. Like they've built, you know, like community centers, wells. I feel like didn't they do? And you went to the one in Jamaica. Yeah, that was a good
What
Wonders
other
build.
ones have you been on?
So I just did Morocco and Jamaica so far.
With the same organization?
No, in Jamaica I was with Wonders.
Oh, okay.
So but it's kind of like a offshoot of the other one. It was
like
kind
an
of born
affiliate,
off
maybe.
of the other one. But
Let me know the next time one of these pops up. I want to go on one of these things.
they are an amazing experience.
Hey, we're building one in New Mexico on a Navajo reservation in the spring. Yeah.
It's not as exotic as I want.
I know. It's still in the States, you know. Like,
I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I want to go somewhere. No,
I
it's
hear
not.
you.
I know it's not. It's not
Anything
about
to
that.
keep
at
the
all.
native,
It's
the
a
native skating.
Different kind of travel.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's not. No, but I would definitely love to go somewhere and have that experience. And
It's great,
Trying
man.
to get dirty, do some
possibly
concrete.
soak up
Yeah,
some new
you-
culture. The thing for me would be to like, I would like to help build a skate park in a place that needs it, but also learn about a culture or
Right.
people that I
Yeah.
probably would never really
For sure.
not go
And
to.
that's
And-
like
Yeah.
skating is the connector. Like you can go anywhere in the world and like meet someone that's a skater and be like, cool, we don't know anything about each other, but like we both love this thing, so like we're connected now.
And with these builds, you are living in the community, eating in the community. You know what I mean? Like you're not disconnected. You're not staying in some hotel building and like coming to work every day. It's like you're with these people every day for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, you know? And so it's like you're definitely not just like and then leave. You know, it's like you're there, you're ingrained.
You're doing whatever they do over there. 'cause
Right.
It's normally a small area they don't have like whatever luxuries you might be used to or like comforts. So you just have to adapt and you learn
No brunch.
you learn a lot. Yeah, you might not be able to get your Starbucks or
champagne
whatever
brunch?
you want, but
Oh man.
I mean, there wasn't even ATMs in the town. There, like, we had to
There mu-
go. We had to take a $5 taxi, a half-hour drive to go to the ATM to buy beer because they didn't sell beer in town either.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. It sounds great, man. It sounds amazing. I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about skating in the Olympics?
I mean, I guess it probably has. I have to say, like, I'm gonna say there's some good aspects of it for like us skateboarders to continue what we do and like business and different that maybe like public perception and all of that. Maybe there's some positive aspects to it, but there's also, I mean, I tried to watch some of it and that was not very fun to watch. Like
It's really
straight
hard
up.
to watch, but I think also like there was the conversation we were having with some other homies where it's like the skateboarding didn't need the Olympics, like the Olympics needed skateboarding. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of that's how I view it. It's not that like skateboarding being in the Olympics makes skating less cool. It's that skateboarding being in the Olympics makes the Olympics more cool because the Olympics is like kind of got stale and like I don't know. I also like
Got stale? It wasn't stale before.
That's what I'm saying. It's like been this like stale, like super old thing. So it's like, irregardless of if
They just want to do something to try to make people think they're cool.
yeah,
just using skateboarding
and like
for that.
it was
But
really hard to hear the conversations, like the announcers being like, "And there they go, doing a front side lip slide." You're like, "Oh, fuck."
with
dude,
the
but-
empty stadiums,
Yeah.
that was so weird.
It
I was
pretty
like,
But at the
awkward
same
to
time, like
watch.
if it's gonna put some people on and like some kid who's never heard of skateboarding is gonna see skateboarding through that, then that's a positive.
for the skate parks getting built around the
Skate parks
world.
getting
some
Yeah,
of
built
those.
skateboards
everywhere.
getting built everywhere.
Right.
That's fucking cool.
Not
Now-
trying to complain about it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like every country now has a reason to build concrete skate parks. And whether skateboarding stays in the Olympics or not, concrete lasts. You know what I mean? So it's like those skate parks are going to be there now. And
Speaking
so,
of golden ticket, I feel like a skateboard is a golden ticket.
Yep.
For real.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go, like-
I want to be in New York right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys if we didn't all decide at some point to skateboard, and then
That's
that
true.
pushes us to other things. You know, whether that's music or filmmaking or whatever. Like, I feel like the best connections. A lot of me personally, not speaking for everybody, has like the best connections I've made is from skateboarding. Like just being a skate rat,
And
being
it'll
like,
take you everywhere.
everywhere.
And you can go anywhere. You know what I mean? And then as soon as you see a skateboarder, you're like, oh, cool.
And you really look at it, you really put everything aside. We all have fallen down and hurt ourselves and just like had everybody laugh at us. Or like just, you know what I mean? Or just like
It's
we've
like-
all dealt with some stuff. What's up?
Speaking to the microphone.
Yeah, we've all like fallen down and hurt ourselves.
Right.
And,
It's
you
a
know,
discipline thing.
had to
too.
deal with that, you know.
I think skaters are like it's a bigger. Sometimes it's not like the skateboard itself; it's the mentality. It's like you're gonna fall, you're gonna get hurt, but you're gonna be like, "Fuck it, I'm get back up, do it again." Like you can
Exactly.
apply that to life. Skater mentality is kind of just like it's okay to get hurt, it's okay to fail.
We all
Yeah.
know the cliches.
Yeah,
We all know
you know what I mean? Like it's fine. Like
And the way you look at it is if we made it this far, we all kind of get along that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you know.
I like skateboarding in the Olympics. I think it's cool. One of the things that I think is interesting though is that now there are countries that are training kids only to skate in the Olympics.
True.
takes some
That's not-
individual.
that's
It takes
how the
individuality
skating-
out
All
of
the
it.
all the pro skateboarders that skated in the Olympics nowadays are skaters on their own time.
Yep.
That they're already pro outside of the Olympics, right? This is what they do. They skate in the streets. But now this is going to breed a new thing where it's like coaches training kids
Yeah,
and
that's
to
100%.
be able to compete.
But yo, here's the difference.
Is that
I
skating?
find it's gonna
Exactly. That's
gonna
not skating.
that's a whole different dynamic of skateboarding than what we know, which is actually being created right now because skateboarding has never been that before.
Right. But I feel like it's skateboarding's being made a sport, whereas like I can't even think of an example, but a sport that like gets a counter like to it, you know what I mean? Or like I guess like NBA and like street ball, like you know what I mean? NBA came first or whatever, like you know what I mean? Structured sports came first, whereas skateboarding, it's skateboarding 1st. Whatever's going on in the Olympics, you're gonna have to find a new name for it eventually. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's not skateboarding. And so when there's coaches training up, you know, teams of kids to kickflip, backflip, or whatever, like that's their thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, totally. No, it's going to be two separate entities,
Right.
like entirely.
I feel like rap music, when like they made it like mainstream, like hip hop, like it kind of the same, and then it came back to the streets. It's kind of like
Well, it goes back to like the
That
image.
ain't
thing.
hip hop. That's some
It
new
goes
shit
back to,
y'all
like,
doing. Like,
the original influence where it's like we all picked up a skateboard. We felt like we wanted to be individual and like we didn't want to coach and we didn't want to, all these cliches we're talking about. And so to then see like some kid get joy out of skateboarding, but because they're like training to like potentially get a medal, I can't relate with that, but I can't knock it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't.
But
Get paid too.
The
shit.
question is, if you trained to skate in that capacity, would you only be happy if you got the medal, though?
Yeah, it
Like,
changes
do you
your
still
outlook.
enjoy,
It changes your outlook.
Do you still enjoy going skateboarding on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
Hell no.
No, I
sound
think it
like
becomes a
it.
job at that point.
Remember when you have kids that like parents put them in gymnastics, they hated every day of it. Right?
Yeah.
You know, they're like, ugh, I gotta go to gymnastics again.
Yeah.
Some kids like it and they end up going to the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, how many millions?
you're
How
right,
many
'cause-
millions? That's like 5% of all the
Right.
kids that are forced to do that.
Like skateboarding, people normally do despite people telling them not to, and like it's normally not somebody like training you and like always giving you that much encouragement. People tell you it's stupid. Like people, you obviously get kicked out and stuff like that. But if you're just going to a facility with a trainer and like everyone's like. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not
kills
skating
it,
to me.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it's making it. It's putting it in a box. It's making it line up with other systems that we were like opposed to. You know what I mean? I think that's more of it. It's not that skateboarding itself is whack. It's that you're then like putting it in a system where like kids are like feel like they have to and like I have to go do 50-50s today. It's like you should want to go
their
do
dad who never made it as a pro.
Yeah, because
is
their
like,
dad.
you know,
Like,
you're gonna fill my dreams, kid.
yeah, exactly.
That's how Niger got here, right?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
Nigel's
that's
like-
right. Yeah.
Look, don't get me wrong. Nigel Houston he's a crazy skateboarder, but also it's like people view him so differently than say like Stevie Williams or like Fred Gall or like someone who's like or Shad like this, you know, like was in the streets and like
Of
just
course.
putting it down.
You either
and,
do it for the culture or you do it for the gold. You know, it's
what I
like
mean? Yeah. But
Either
But
you
the
do
other
it for
guy-
yourself or you for other people.
But
Right.
Ishad, for example, is doing getting the culture and the gold.
The shot is
that's because the shot
transcending.
is the truth.
Not the actual
because the
medal
shot is
gold,
the-
but
yeah.
you know, he's
Goats,
getting
but-
the.
But he could get golds if he
Yeah.
wanted them. Like,
But he do that for fun though. He's like, Shad's doing that shit because he likes to, you know, and that's clear. It ain't,
Yeah, I love a shot.
ain't no pressure.
if
to
you ever watch a shot skate, he just doesn't stop. You can watch him for
I know,
6
he's a
hours
beast.
straight. You know, it's like,
I see that in the skater kids too. Like they'll show up with their dad, like just go, oh, we've seen it, like you guys doing your thing, and then all of a sudden, like we're next like couple weeks, they're like on the board, they're going over the ramps, they're hyped, they're like part of it, and then they just like saw it and just started coming, you know.
What else are you guys working on? What do you guys got coming up? You guys got any collaborations? Some hot shit? What's popping?
And we were talking a little bit already about anniversary plans. As always, we got to make up for this 10-year anniversary party we never had.
and 11.
Yeah, and 11 year.
Oh yeah.
And then we got the photo issue and video in June. So we always try to go hard in June. Like we're starting to work on those plans already right now.
And we got issue 65 coming
Yeah,
as soon
and-
as, real soon.
Yeah, new one about to be here. Always got the new merch and
Working
Yeah,
on
what's
some
up
new
with the
video
gear? The
stuff.
merch is like you guys trying to go full
yeah,
clothing line or what?
I mean, we drop a full catalog every issue. So 6 times a year, there's going to be new shit coming out, you know? But we just, you got to get it at your shop. You know, first and foremost, you know, like you'll get it on the web store later on. But like, you know, like that, you're only getting that in a shop right now.
This only gets in the shop.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We need skate John like CCS. That's what we need.
the whole make another mail order catalog.
Everybody gets it all the time. You know?
Yeah,
It'd be
good.
cool. It'd be cool.
But yeah, also just some like trying to get more video ideas, doing more $100 chills. Like I wasn't
Yeah,
kidding, man.
more.
Give me your contact. Dude. We'll talk about it.
Maybe I'll pull the skate. Maybe I'll set up a board.
There you go. Get through winter.
I'm gonna have to get the. I'm gonna have to pull the foam roller out.
Loosen up a little bit. You know.
I'll pull the foam
The
roller out, set up a
hypervolt.
board,
Just like keeping on.
jog
man.
like
Get you some
5 miles per
acupuncture.
week first. Yeah, a little acupuncture.
Love to see that.
Shit.
But I mean, like, yeah, for merch, like, we're always trying to make new art, new cool stuff. I'm sure there's going to be a new Simmons graphic in no time coming out.
That's my
you know.
favorite. My favorite thing.
okay.
Love making merch.
I gave you that idea the other day. You work on that? Yeah, we're working on some new stuff.
Wait until y'all see the new one we got.
Even yesterday, we were like in the studio brainstorming like ideas. Like we're always just like chumming it up in there, just trying to like mix it up. And I think like obviously there's like everybody has a position, but everybody's also like fully in the mix. Like he might do art, but he's also pitching this. He might be doing managing, he's also pitching this. Like Zach might be doing that, but he's pitching this. Like
All right.
Trying to improve every single day.
every day, just trying to get better.
Just create and make. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just make
Like,
it till you make it.
till you make it, yo.
I feel like that was like the mentality of rappers in the Bay growing up. They would make a million mixtapes and shit. But like that would keep their name out there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like we'll bully you. Like you don't need to go to the internet to find it. You're just gonna find this shit in the gutter at a skate spot. Like you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
dope.
Skate John, you're gonna see it in the streets.
Yeah,
You know?
it's, first and foremost, it's in the streets.
Going back to our first question about Skater of the Year, who's the Skate John Skater of the Year for 2021?
I think it's Max Palmer.
Max Palmer.
That's a unanimous. That's a unanimous decision.
Yeah,
That's
Max
the man,
Palmer.
yo. Like
he's the man.
Shout out Max.
He's
the
a
man.
wizard.
Yeah, he's unbelievable to watch in real life. And he also, like, he doesn't skate for anybody else. He just gets there and starts skating. And, like, someone just starts
Skates the
filming.
whole
Like, he's not
time
like, I want to
till
film
we're
this. He's just
done.
skating. And then someone's like, we gotta film this dude.
He's
Like,
also
a
an
dope
incredible
person.
artist.
great,
and
really nice dude.
just-
You know,
Yeah.
he's the best.
Max Palmer,
Great
Skate
to
John
hear, man.
Skater.
Yeah,
Skate
Max
John.
Palmer.
Yeah, shout out
Skater
Max
of the
Palmer.
Year, Max Palmer, Loose Trucks.
Yeah.
I met him when I didn't even know who the hell this dude was. Like I was just skating. He was skating with me. And then later on they're like, no, that's fucking da-da-da-da-da. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
he's
That's how
he doesn't-
wizards work.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
ego, just totally nice,
Yeah.
quiet dude. Just like does the coolest shit on a skateboard ever.
yeah, he was like,
Very
oh, what's up?
unsuspecting.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the
Well,
best.
listen, we're about to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for coming through.
Oh, this has been
I
awesome.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Lee.
But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Go check out Skate John.
Pick up a subscription,
John.
skatejohn.com.
Yeah.
Plug
Oh,
your shit.
Skate shop, tell your skate shop to cop if they
Yep.
ain't got it.
Yep.
You gotta get a sick group photo now.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yo, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lee.